What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the St. James Show. I am him. I am your host on tonight here at the St. James Show. I am St. James. Oh, yes, I am. Will you do me a great big favor as before we get started? Please do what I always ask you to do. Will you hit that like button for me? And when you also subscribe to the St. James Show. If you are not a subscriber, do it right now. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button and also turn on all your notifications. That's the little bell there. Share on all your social media websites everywhere. Share it all everywhere and become one of our exclusive supporting monthly members by clicking on the membership link and do it right now. Oh, I tell you, come on, Mary, for starting us off with our goal. We only have 5 today. We're saying 5 to help us meet our goal tonight. Will you do that? Will you do that? She said, on your way in. Thank you so much, Mary, for all of your support. Who do we have up in the building? Sharon T. Leonard is here. We appreciate you. Inspire. The great Inspire is in the building. Kimberly Leday and Joshua, thank you for being members. Prince James, good to see you, sir. Seta Moore is in the building. Come on, Valerie done joined us. Thank you so much. Y'all hit that like button for me. I said I was going to come on later on, a little bit later, but you know what? It is so hot here. I can't even ride my bike. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? It was about 7:30, around 7:30 last night, and I was we were coming back from dinner or something like that, or going to dinner, one of just. And I saw a lot of people on their bikes, and I'm like, okay, yeah, because now was the time to get on your bikes here around 7 o'clock or so when the temperature drops. Because right now, what is it? It is really warm, and I'm upstairs in my house, so it's a little bit more warm. 91 degrees here. It is 91 degrees. So I'm going to wait. So after the show, I'll go on my bike ride and hang out like that. All right. Yes. So look at that. They got a new thing with the comments are already on the screen. Y'all see that? I've been seeing that on some other ones. I said, I guess that is a thing. All right. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. It's 56 in Maryland. Where is it where you are right now? Uncle Paul, thanks for coming through. Uncle Paul. Breezy, Beat 214 is in the building. T. Davis, thank you for your support. Thank you for coming through. How hot is it, or what's the temperature where you're at? I know that St. Louis having tornadoes and such, because I know the Church of God in Christ put out a thing about the women's convention, said they're going forth. You know, they gotta get in there and collect that money. They can't let y'all get out a little bitty tornado. Little bitty tornado can't keep the women from the Church of God in Christ away. I think this is when Bishop Churchy get about 10 grand or so from Mother McCoo. He usually gets about 10, 15, 20 grand from her during the youth convention. 60 in Ohio, 74 upstate South Carolina. Okay, 75 degrees where you're at. 53 degrees on the East Coast where Inspire is. What's up, T. Danielle? Good to see you. So yeah, it is 91 degrees. So I gotta wait till this stuff. I thought about getting into the pool and taking a swim, maybe, but I may do that later on this week or something like that. That's good exercise as well. So I may do a 90 where you're. Yeah, it's pretty warm, y'all. It is actually pretty warm. What's up, Sean Renee? Yes, yeah. I'm drinking this pineapple juice from Trader Joe's. You know, there's always something missing because they don't put a bunch of stuff in. It's not from concentrate, made from 100% fresh fruit. So, you know, there's always something missing. But that's how it is over there across the water, though. It's like things are weird, but we're so used to drinking and eating everything that we're not supposed to. That's not good for us, that we just think things are weird. What's up, Jesse? It is 51 in Detroit. Okay, 50 degrees there with T. Danelle. And oh, wow. And raining. Okay. All right. So is it Gemini season yet? Is it my season yet? When does Gemini season start? Has it started? Somebody put something up that made me believe that it started today. Has it started? Let me see. Begins on May 20th. It started yesterday and ends on the 20th of June. So, hey, it is Gemini season. My birthday is 6/18 in next month. So I barely made it. I almost was out of being a Gemini, but I am a Gemini. You know, Geminis are the best. We're the best. Aren't we the best? Yes, we are. What's up, fitness? Good to see you. We are the best. Yes. So 6/18. It's your season. Okay. All right. Yeah. What's up, Darla? You know, Darla came through the sanctuary and you know, she was our special guest the other night. She said a word. She had a word. We're going to talk about a little bit more of that video tonight that we did on the other night. You know, give some clarity on a few things. We got, you know, there was pushback, which I understood that there would be. But I stand firm. I stand firm on my beliefs. But we'll get there. We'll get there. What's up, Londa? Yeah, because who is it? Your father's birthday is me and him have the same birthday. Jesse, is that why you call me daddy? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Yeah, Dollar, we had a time. Won't y'all hit that like button for me so we can get into some things. Well, let me see here. What are we going to talk about? Well, you know that the Stellar Awards are coming up. Stellar Awards are going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. There, August 14th through 16th. Usually they have it at the Grand Ole Opry. They haven't really announced where they're going to have it this year, but it might be at the Grand Ole Opry again. But of course, it will be August 14th. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Generally, the Stellar Awards are on the 16th, on the Saturday of that weekend. So we look forward to being there and maybe doing some interviews and checking out some people there at the Stellar Awards and seeing some of our friends of the St. James Show. We can't wait. What's up? Rosalind, how you doing? Who else is in here? Oh, what's up, K Rich? I didn't even see you slip through the back door. You must have came through the kitchen. You came through the kitchen. All right. So yeah, that Stellar Awards are the August 14th through the 16th. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? Hezekiah is doing it again. Choir Fest. This is always a good time. Always a good time there at Choir Fest. And it will be there on that Saturday, even after the Stellar Awards. The Choir Fest will go. Doors open at 10:30, starts at 11. Yeah, right. Usually there's such a long line. They got to wait till everybody get in and get a seat. But it should be fun. A whole bunch of choirs and things. So let me take off the banner just in case your choir wants to call for more information. 1-800-752-2981. I believe that's what it is. But if not, screenshot that bad boy, and you will have all the information that you need. So I can't wait for the Stellar Awards, and also can't wait for the gospel, for Hezekiah Walker's Gospel Fest live in Music City. So that is going to be a gas, as what's his name from Soul Train used to say. It's going to be a gas. Yes, it is. Yeah. What's up, Princess? Good to see you. Mike Moore is in the building. Heavenly Dove, good to see everybody coming. I hope you didn't just come in. I hope you came in and hit that like button for me. Is that what you did? I hope you came in and hit that button. You know what? There was a talk. Where is Nikki Ross? Nikki Ross, great singer, sung with Ricky Dillard, sung with Kirk Franklin. She's still yet holding on, y'all. She says, hey, y'all, I'm just checking in. Then you all know that I'm alive and well, just waiting for the manifestation of God, bringing my sight back fully so I can really see y'all. Keep praying for me. Love you much. And we know that Nikki Ross has blessed us throughout the years with her melodious voice, beautiful voice, so many different songs. There Is No Way was one of her good ones back in, I think she sung that with Ricky Yeah, that was kind of There Is No Way with Ricky. She was kind of the mainstay of that song. We love her version of it. Yes, we do. So we are praying. Someone put some hearts in the chat, put some prayer hands, put some something in the chat for Miss Nikki Ross. We appreciate her ministry. We hope that God gets her all the way back to where she should be so she can continue to minister. And he is able. Yeah, yes, he is able. So Nikki Ross, we love you, baby. We love you, Nikki Ross. Yes, yes, yes. So what did we do today? Man, today was hump day. Hope nobody was humping. All right. Hope you was praying. If you're on your knees, you need to be on your knees for the right reason. Ain't no humping. Ain't no humping. Well, unless you have the authority to. What's up, Mark? It's good to see you, sir. Unless you have the authority to. I am Mrs. Riggs. Thank you guys for coming through tonight and hanging out with me for a short period of time. Oh, I need to get out there. I need the sun to go down so I can hop on my bike and do a few miles and come on back and do my and hang out and do my thing. Yes, 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 and yes. Well, what else is going on? Listen, you know what's going on right now. What's going on right now is the Convocation over there in Texas. But it is the Convocation of Marvin Winans Perfecting International Convocation course. We were saying, it's going on. It's going to go on anyway. So let's check it out. One of the guests was none other than Bay Area's own Lena Bird.
Oh, to Jesus I surrender all. To him I freely give. I will ever love. I'll always trust him in his presence. I'll daily live, and that's why I give you, God, every day I'll give my all. Oh, I surrender my all. Now and forever I'll give all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender, give myself away.
Come on, Lena. Let's beat up.
I lift it up for you to make me whole. I know I said one more, but
Princess, does that answer your question? Does that answer your question there, Princess? Nathaniel Green preached. They seem to be churching and going in. Nathaniel Green, he's from the Church of God in Christ. Let's see what he was doing.
You ain't got to act like you ain't been going through. Tell them I know what you've been going through because I'm going through too. Hell, I've got victory. Lay your hands on 3 people on your way to your seat and tell them I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. I've got victory. Victory in my church. Victory in my home. Victory in my body. Victory in my business. Victory in my marriage. Victory in my mind. I've got it, I've got it, I've got it.
Again, I'm not sure why they took it to Texas. I guess they're just trying to be like any other convocation and just take it around the country, I guess. But they probably should have kept it right there in Detroit. I don't think it would be any different. But that was last. Well, let's see about tonight. Let's see about tonight and what they're doing. That was the other night or last night, one of the nights. Thank you, Uncle Paul, for helping me reach my goal on tonight. Thank you for your $10 donation. Somebody shouting break. Come on now. They're getting a breakthrough. We only need, 3 more? And we have met our goal. Hit that like button, everybody. Please hit that like button right now. All right? Let's go into the convocation right now live.
Person, but I am not independent of God. I am totally reliant on God. And so it is so easy for me to be a maverick.
I think that's that preacher, that lady, she's with them. She's from London. I think that's her. I'm guessing. I forget her name. Lady Wisdom probably know. What's up, Lady Wisdom? What's up, Sean? Good to see y'all. Daryl, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, so that they're in convocation right now. Don't seem like they're doing much. Let's see. Did they do any singing or anything before she got up there? Let's see. Let's see. Who was that? Oh, yeah, they did a little something. Let's see what the praise team did.
We give you all the glory. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised.
They did a little something. They did a little something. Did they do anything fast? Let's see. Well, that's the convocation. Marvin Winans convocation. I think they're in Texas somewhere. Somewhere over there in Texas or something. I don't know. That was $99 donation. They have about 340 days or so before. It should be around 340. We don't have Nicole here for the our official counter. But that's what I thought. She passed in England. That's what I thought she was. Pastor Lamont. Yeah. She's been with him a while, right, Lady Wisdom? She's been in the organization a while, probably from the beginning. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But that they are, y'all. They're in Texas at the Convocation. Yes, they are. Hit that like button for me, everybody. I appreciate you coming through, hanging out with me for a little bit. Just being me's in the building. Yes. What's going on here?
The Spirit of the Lord says that He anoints you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, that everything you touch in this season shall prosper, that every room you go in, your feet shall be blessed, that the angels of the Lord go before you, that the angels of the Lord stand behind you, that integrity is your portion, that you are a man of valor and honor, that you are a man that is covered in the blood of the Lord, and your mother's voice guides you in everything that you do. Father, in the name of Jesus, hallelujah. Today, Father, as we celebrate His birth, dear God, we thank you for a new birthing that you are doing in Him even now, Father. We call forth every good thing that is in Him. We stir up every gift that you have given to Him, Father. We thank you for supernatural and divine intellect. We thank you for a greater burden of righteousness. We thank you that he is a man after your own heart, Father, that he will seek you and no other, that you are his God and there is no other God before you. We thank you that every word that rises up against him has already failed.
If you're going to get married, you better get somebody that can pray for you. At least. I'm just saying. Everybody just can't be in the corner somewhere dipping and dodging. You got to get somebody that can pray for you. And Dr. Carrie Bryan definitely prays for her husband. Of course, on Sunday, they celebrated his birthday. Yes, they did. And Kim Burrell was there as the guest, and she made an interesting statement. She said, "I'm so glad that I didn't introduce you to Whitney." Anybody got any tomatoes for the chat for Kim Burrell? First of all, she had to tell y'all, remember that I was best friends with Whitney Houston. And she says, "I'm just so glad that I didn't introduce you to Whitney." She always doing something. Oh, there you go. I'm like, was that statement necessary? Yeah, what? Why? Like something, that's why they be on your neck, Kim. That's why they don't be messing with you. Didn't push the relationship. Because of course it was going to be on her word, right? Was it going to be on her word? Always inappropriate. The meanest songstress ever. You know what? She just seems to be. I'm just so afraid when I come across her again. She probably gonna have some words for me, or she just go to ignore me. I'm gonna say that's fine. You're still mean and surly. You're still mean and surly. I wonder what Whitney would say about their friendship. Whitney would probably say we were close or whatever. Yeah, because we don't quite understand, I am Baptist Apostolic, Baptist College. No, I'm non-denominational. We'll just keep it at that. I can go to being a member of a particular church. That don't mean I'm that denomination. I was going to a church guy in Christ Church for a while. Yeah. But sometimes I think Kim drinks the communion wine. She the president. She has to be the president. Well, that Jamal is still going on with his boycott, and he's on CNN today. Either he's already been on there or going to be on there on CNN talking about the boycott. I was just thinking about this. I mean, it is relevant. We definitely got to say something and do something. We can't just sit outside the gate and figure out, what they're going to do. But, I fear for the safety of him. I hope he has security and things, because when you start messing with people's money and millions of dollars and stocks and stuff going down, that hits home. So we just praying. Good thing he has a praying wife. Because listen, thank you so much, Sharon, for your donation. Good thing she has a praying wife, because he gonna need it, because he's messing with these people and their money right now. So. JD, you and this Earl Carter, don't come in the chat always talk about Earl Carter. I don't care about Earl Carter. We talk about Earl Carter when needed. I don't care if he has a church or don't have a church. No offense, JD. I don't care. If they give him a church, they can give him GEI as far as I'm concerned. I ain't going. He can have Greater Emmanuel. They can deed the church over to him. I ain't going. So I don't care about Earl Carter like that. Earl Carter needs to be talked about when he's talked about. Stop trying to derail the conversation. Give on Earl Carter. He can be the presiding bishop. If I told you, put him the second assistant, first assistant. I don't care. You went to Target a few days ago and the vibes was off. You know what? When I went, and it's really crazy you say that, Lady Wilson, because when I went, I didn't feel comfortable going. After the boycott, I went, but I just didn't feel comfortable going for some reason. So, he would be not have it. Yeah, that's something. I hope he has security, because he's not only he's affecting change But you know, with that change, you messing with these folks' money, and they are not going to have it after a certain while. So we are yet praying for, yeah, it must have been conviction. You think that's what it was? And I haven't been back. I went that one time and I haven't been back. So, is the red ball on? Oh, the red ball is on. Let me see something. I was trying to see if I did something right, but I may not have done something. Y'all hit that like button while I'm checking this out. I'm gonna go live. Oh no. So that still didn't work. I gotta tell Ness I didn't do it right. Okay. I didn't do it right, Ness. I didn't do it right. Yep. He's not giving alternatives. Well, I thought there was a whole list of places that you're supposed to be able to go to when you sign up for that boycott. He had a whole list. He had a whole list of things. Inspired Children's Church, 30 minutes. He had a whole list of places that you can go, but Black owned, I guess. But like I said, I don't mean any harm, but we know how that happens. Some of our boutique and smaller places, we have to spend more money. And I know it's like this or that or this, but I understand, Oh, what's up, Jay Boogie? Good to see you. Drop the buy programs. What's the programs messing with them? Yeah. It's not for 9 minutes anymore. What do you mean? Oh, well, no, I think the other one, I'm talking about the one that they had, how that affected. I think now the new one is for 9 minutes, the time that that officer was on the neck of Floyd. So I think that's the boycott now. So I don't think he's saying the entire store forever anymore, but I do think he's that 9 minutes. I think that's what they're doing. I don't know. That is not realistic for everyday spending. It's not. You walk it. Yeah, that's what that. Sometimes it just has to happen, Jay Boogie. It has to happen. We can't get around it. You say you shop at Amazon. Do you find that Amazon their prices are going higher since this boycott? Or now, Orange Man said y'all need to quit lying on him and talking about these tariffs is raising the prices. He said y'all lying on him. So y'all better quit lying on the Orange Man. That's what he said the other day. Yeah. Well, Target ain't cheap, but it just seems like the quality is a little bit better to me. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the quality is a little better than you shop at Temu. Okay, Temu, get down, Temu. Yeah, their prices have gone much higher. Yeah. How would he know? I don't know. You said you'll be back at Target till Jesus sits on the bed and tells me to 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Yes. Now Marcus is going to be in here defending Amazon because he worked for Amazon. So he's not going to let y'all besmirchify the name of Amazon. He say the prices are the same. Okay, Marcus. The prices are the same. Whatever you say. So yes, we are yet holding on. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you for coming in. The sanctuary on tonight, the virtual sanctuary. So make it happen. Listen, I like David Daughtry. He's one of the leaders over there at West Angeles. He's going to be recording on the 2nd of August, Center of Hope in Los Angeles. So for those of you in Los Angeles, will you make your way over there to Center of Hope? There's special guests, Dorinda Clark Cole, Alina Bird Miles, and somebody Ward. They're going to be over there. I can't see the name. I don't really know what that name is. Somebody Ward. But it should be a good thing. If you like David Daughtry music, you'll be able to enjoy David Daughtry's live recording live in Los Angeles. Yes. And listen, for any birthdays that are this month, we almost out of here. We done slipped yesterday. We slipped into Gemini season, and that is the best season of all time. So for those of you celebrating in the Gemini season, Leah's gonna do it.
Because she's blessed. So right here, I wanna say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Come on, y'all, say happy birthday.
Hey, Leah, you got another birthday over there.
Say happy birthday. It's my mama's birthday. Can we help her celebrate? Come on, everybody, put your hands together. Everybody say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Say happy birthday.
So happy birthday again to the end of May, beginning of June, and all the way into the 20th for our Gemini birthdays. You know, y'all believe in astrology and stuff. Y'all pick it up and put it down at your convenience. You know how we do. You know, first we call it a demonic, and then we pick it up and put it down whenever we feel like it. That's how church folk do. Just how it is. It's just the ones that get too deep. They start talking about the water and the numbers and the beet berries and the cherries. I can't do it. I can't do it. I really can't. But that was Leah singing that. Now, Leah has a special event going on here in Fresno. She has a choir appreciation day at Fellowship Baptist Church where she works. Special guest is herself. Yes, herself. Drake Bell, Zoe Jolie, and Saints Community Church. No, is that Saints Community? Yeah, and the Gospel Music Workshop of America component choir. They are a component of the Northern Cal Gospel Music Workshop of America. So those of you in the area, all in California, Central Valley, Bay Area, down Southern, come on up into the middle of California and celebrate Appreciation Choir Day with Leah. She's one of our good supporters over here. So we will be in the house, and I believe that is, let me up this banner. Yeah, the 29th. Sunday the 29th at 3 p.m. Lord, Leah, the 3 p.m. So what am I complaining about? I rarely do regular services long enough that, but yeah. So we want to go out and support those who are in California. Do that for us and support Leah. All right, y'all do that. My youngest daughter's said taking her oh yeah, you doing that Beyonce this weekend. Oh wow. And it is a Memorial Day weekend. I forgot that I am actually off work if I choose to be on Monday. So it is, I'm thinking, what should I do? I was in the Bay Area last weekend. I think I probably need to go again. I don't know. You said, Leah, if I was there, I would come and fall out in the middle. My God, fall out. Oh yeah. Let's go to Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem. How about we do that? Y'all know y'all. Well, Abyssinian and Dr. Kevin Johnson there in Harlem, they have a money-back guarantee. If you don't get what you've expecting after giving your tithes and offering, they will give all your money back that you gave to the church. Now, Ebony Marshall Turman says, listen here, I don't know what he's getting that from. She said, God's time is not our time. Do we have a witness in the building? God's time is not our time. And we walk by faith and not by sight. Lady Wisdom said he need to put that in writing. Y'all need to download the video before y'all start giving. Download the video. You said, why is this a season of giving? We should be in the season of reaping, especially during a recession. Recession. No, they want your money. And you get 100% money back guarantee. I want to see folks get their money back. What's up, Tara? Boy, I tell you, these churches are trying everything that they can to get that cash. I just thought that was crazy. Now they will be in court, I believe, next week. You know, they're still being sued because they said he got into the position illegally. They said it was a bunch of shenanigans in regards to the voting. They said he was selected and not elected. So they will be, I believe, in court on the 29th of next week. So we're going to see where that goes. We know that the judge threw out Ebony Marshall Thurman's lawsuit that she had against Abyssinian, but I believe she's going into appeal. So we will see about this other one that some of the saints of Abyssinian have put up against the church for this, in their words, the illegal election of Dr. Kevin Johnson. So last is everlasting. You said Paul is so confused because that was not in his letter into the church. Well, they have curved it and cut and pasted it, and they did whatever they need to do to make it a part of their, scenario or their narrative. So it's just what they do. So I think it's crazy, but I'm interested to see what the outcome will be with this lawsuit. If it will actually go through, will it be thrown out like Dr. Ebony's was, or what? We were over at Perfecting earlier today. Let's see what they're doing right now. Alina Bird singing there yesterday. She cut up tonight. You said Marvin Winans would never. Well, yes, he would never give your money back. That's for real. You ain't getting no cash back at Perfecting. Let's go into the Perfecting Convocation live. Let's see what they're doing.
Somebody. I got 66 books. That will be your weapon, y'all. I got 66 books. That will be your weapon, y'all. It'll pop the enemy right across the head. Tell somebody. Oh, lift your sword in your hand. Sword in your hand. Sword in your hand. Sword in your hand. I got what I need. Sword in your hand. I got what I need. Sword in your hand. Tell your neighbor, you got what you need. Sword in your hand. You got what you need. Sword in your hand. This reason I give it all. To the slip of the strong. When it's to the word. To the word. It's to the word. That's when it goes to the end. I gotta get out of here. But you fight. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Look at your neighbor. I'm on my way back to my seat. And tell him, oh neighbor, he's talking to you. I know you got problems. back in the house, but on your way home, God is going before you, and He's already working out whatever you need, whatever you need, whatever you need. God is already working. God is already supplied it. We gonna be all right. 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 Tell somebody. Tell somebody. Tell somebody. Oh, we just want to know.
All right, all right, all right. Well, that's perfecting, perfecting. They are in their convocation in Texas. So Donnie is on his phone. Is me. Yeah, they look like they had sung the last song of the way. They probably done been, pillaged for all the money. They broke. You ain't happy when you're broke. You got to the convocation during a recession, and you had paid $99 for registration. They finna hit them up for a big, fat, juicy offering. So you don't have too many happy people, okay? Not too many. So whatever. Yes. Well, before we move on, y'all need it.
I feel God. Come on here. There's a spirit of revival. Glory to God. I need y'all to release me in this room. I know your form. I know your program. I know you got things in place. I know there's scriptures that are come on the screen. And that's what I saw. What I'm looking at right now, people coming to this altar, that's what God showed me on the way here. Glory to God. I need some of y'all to trust the moment. I know it's a little different. I know it's not what some of you may be used to, but the Lord said, I come to revive my people. He said, I've come for my people. The enemy has been trying to take your life. The enemy has been trying to overcome you. There's a spirit of death. There's a spirit of suicide. And God said that He was coming to rebuke every demonic spirit that is coming to take the life out of the people of God. Come on, I didn't come to play no games. I come for you. If I knew your name, I would call your name. But God is coming for every one of you. No, don't look at us strange. I need you to stop playing. You don't know what the enemy's intent has been for your life. But I need somebody to hear me and to hear me clearly. The Lord says, I intend for you to live and not die. Revival.
If I knew your name, I call it out right now. If I knew your name. Ooh, I love it. I love it. That's T. Renee Glenn, one of God's prophetesses. Man, is she a prophetess? I don't know. She a preacher, something. She's something. She gets the job done. Yes, she does. Listen, the other night we talked about the video from Larry Reed, and they're talking about Bishop Jordan, and all that. Do y'all remember who Bishop Jordan is? Do you need a remembrance? Okay.
Just gonna blow the sound of the shofar as our bishop makes his way to the top. C-sharp chord over there, please. After I blow the shofar, I need you to give God another shofar with the sound of your anatomical voice, saith the Lord. Do, 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 do.
I think that's an embarrassing moment, but let's get beyond that anyway. there was a video that Larry put out explaining to everyone about the breakup between the stop of the mentorship and the menteeship between him and Bishop Bernard Jordan. Now, there were some people that put some comments in, and I welcome everyone's comments. I don't have a problem with that, but I want to clarify some things. Let's clarify some things here. I am an influencer. Larry is an influencer. William McCrae is an influencer. Armand Wiggins is an influencer. We're going to talk about that Diddy stuff in a minute, too. I just want to throw some things out. You know, Regina, the Juice influencer, Marcellus, Tarsha Global, influencers. And what influencers do, we talk about things, we give commentary, and which, you know, we build an audience, you know, an audience that we can trust. And well, not we can trust, because sometimes you can't really trust your audience. But if your audience trusts you, then they will listen to you. They will take your word and take your advice sometime, or have a different thought in regard to, because they trust what you're saying because they've been listening to you for a while. Now, I made a statement in regards to him saying that not to give to Bishop Bernard Jordan. Now, we did see in his commentary that he said, well, he won't be giving because he's not giving to anybody that's giving to Trump. You know, that's what, you know, if that's, you know, what he was saying. So as influencers, when we put out things like that, that's an automatic hit, automatic encouragement to our people that follow me as I follow Christ, as Walter used to say. Do as I do, because I'm, you know, if you're trusting me as your, and Larry is a prophet, and, you know, he has a following as a prophet. He has a following as a pastor. And the thing about it, and then it was said that, oh, well, he owed it to, well, no, he didn't owe it to us. He said he had already talked to his Patreon. So he really didn't owe us that to come out here and say that. That's why I had to take the stance that I took in regards to, I believe it was a hit on Bishop Jordan. That's where I took my stance. Because no, he didn't. If he wanted to do the responsible thing and come out and tell, well, he didn't have to do that. He had already said he already did that in Patreon. So that wasn't really a necessary thing. And then on one hand saying, well, I don't want anybody to bash Jordan, but then on the other hand saying, I ain't giving it to that nigga. I ain't giving it to him. He giving his money over there. And what do you think that the people in his deal was going to do in the chat, in his following? Him as an influencer, him as a pastor, as a prophet. They want to follow his lead. You know? So listen. Again, people are still picking and choosing who are they going to be upset with in regards to them thinking that someone is following Trump. Because we know that there's other people surrounding that they are still talking to and still friends with. So I don't understand where the hypocrisy is. Why there is so much hypocrisy. People trying to question your credibility over wordplay. Yeah, and that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Listen, I'm not telling you, give all your money, give it to Larry, give it to Bernard, give it to whoever you want to give it to. I don't care. But what I'm speaking on, something that I felt was a disservice, and it was a bit hypocritical. That's all I talked about. Now, if we want a wordplay and we want to talk about this and that, oh, well, you know, he didn't actually, no, because when they want us to do something, they put the bird things out like that and want us to follow. Get in the loop. Sometimes you was out of the loop over there on Benson's too. I pinned the Larry's video to my last live. It's in the description. Check it out towards the end after the offering. And that's what it was. So don't come to me and said, you know, because it was pure wordplay. And I deciphered the wordplay for you. If you want to continue to follow who you have, I'm not telling you to come over here and don't follow people. I'm just laying out what I'm seeing. I'm just laying out what I'm seeing. I'm not here to say that anybody is a follower of Trump, but I am going to reiterate. Let me reiterate it again. If we have nobody inside the enemy's camp, we just going to die without trying to survive? And all of you who talk about Jordan, talk about the other people, I'm not in these people's mind. I know everybody does things for an agenda. I ain't stupid. Everybody got an agenda. But while getting an agenda, while living out or seeking out your agenda, perhaps we can figure out a way to divert some of this evilness that's coming out of that house. Mm-hmm. Yeah, follow him. We got to follow him. Let's not be too deep in that, J Boogie. We do follow him, but even in the Bible says, follow me as I follow Christ. You follow him, but you also follow him through pastors, through prophets, through teachers, through education, through learning. Okay, we're not just going to cut everybody off at the neck, J Boogie. We're not going to get so intellectual that we don't want no direction from nobody. That's what we should. That's just that we got to be cautious about that. Yeah. He was the best thing since sliced bread, and now he's not. I need some more names that you can come out with against other than Jordan. And if Jordan said, I didn't tell anybody who I voted for. You say as a prophet, I'm a prophet and I know who he voted for. There's a lot of other questions we have then than what you should have known as a prophet. Picking and choosing. Let's go to Conscious TV wall and see what Conscious wrote after my video. I'm not saying it pertains to anything I did. I'm just saying, I'm just reading what he put. That's all I'm doing. So the person who cries they don't want to be controlled called it quits on someone else because that person didn't want to be controlled. Child, make it make sense. So what if the other party supports people and ideas you don't, especially when you support people and ideas plenty of others don't? But as always, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. It seems it is only okay for one person in the camp to break the rules. To everyone else needs to stand on Christ's principles and only align themselves with those who are Christian in values. The sheer hypocrisy and audacity of the telephone pole in your own eye while berating and criticizing the toothpick, obstructing others' view. The intentional mastery in seeing what you believe is wrong with others while avoiding addressing the ginormous blind spots in your conduct is so extreme that it's sheer comical. The nerve to call others stupid when you can't convince them that your inconsistencies and missteps aren't a part of some grand master plan and is just the regular result of the sin in your own mind and heart, while never considering the actions of others as possible wisdom and beyond your scope of reasoning, is just a clever way to subject the one who fed you to secret contempt amongst the general public. The way some of y'all hide behind ulterior motives, secret agendas, affections, and then try to softly burn the same house down you ate at when someone doesn't let you do them the way what you want anyone else to do. Yikes. Can't even respect someone become such a living joke of everything that they pretend to stand for, only to be worse than those they profit from criticizing. This is exactly what silent karma is playing against the one who claims to see all, but can't see the heart and the agenda of the ones they see every day. When the reality finally does reveal itself, the ego will crumble. On the cross, oh yes, it will. All is coming out and will bear the burden of being held accountable. Nothing wasn't what it seemed then. Nothing is as it seems now. But more importantly, the people are wide awake. That was by, it's on Conscious TV post, his community wall on YouTube. I thought it was profound. I thought it was great. He wasn't directing it towards anyone. So I understand everyone who wants to say, well, that wasn't said. If you got the Holy Ghost and you got any discernment, you know good and well that was a direct hit to Bishop Jordan and to soil his ministry and his character. You know it. If we want to sit back and say, well, they didn't exactly say and didn't and then put the dot right here and then cross that T. It's a flip-flop. It's a flip-flop party around here. I thought it was great. They put on my thing. You need to run. Somebody put up there. You need to run over there. What's that? I don't know who that was. You need to run over there to Conscious TV's community wall real quick, St. James. So I packed up my my Cadillac. Took me some bacon as a snack for the road. And I went on over there. And I said, well, my. But you know what? We've seen these relationships. We've seen these YouTube ships. We've seen all this happen. You know, yes, they were under a contract. Yes, the contract ended. But you mean to tell me you fed this man, America's most valued or most trusted Black prophet. You fed it to your audience, whether you were under a contract or not. You fed all this. And they believed it. They embraced him. They accepted his word. They watched you give thousands of dollars to him. They watched all this stuff play out. Only to the end of the road, I ain't giving that man no money. He support Trump. I don't give my money to the colonizers. I don't give my money to the people that ain't for the Black people in it. Well, since he didn't really. Y'all need to go somewhere and get dipped again. Yeah. I got me some bacon. I hopped over there and I went over there to Conscious TV and checked it out. Who was always the common denominator? I tell you, they don't nobody break up with them. People break up. I mean, he don't break up with nobody. They break up with him. Get it together, 9 billion. You know, ain't nobody seeing nothing. Everybody's a seer, Erica. Everybody's a seer. But ain't nobody seeing a thing. Ain't nobody seeing nothing. Take him to the water, Lord. Get him, dip him in the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and bring him back up and dip him down in Jesus' name. OG Beauty. So I just wanted to clarify a few things because we're not going to do this wordplay. We're not going to sit over here and act like we don't know what's going on around here. We just going to sit back and, like I said, ain't nobody capping. Ain't nobody capping for Jordan and nobody else. But and listen, they were saying that Lovey voted for Trump too. I don't know. He never said it. He never came out and told us. Like I said, all y'all need to pack up and probably find new churches if that's the criteria for you to follow one of your faith leaders. Because your pastor was back in the booth. Where's the orange bubble? Looking around. Because I know, because I was close to a couple of pastors who was prominent in this city, and we talked about it, and they talked that the first time they voted for the man, but was preaching over their pulpit something else. You can't mess with people's money, Tashi. You can't, and you can't be an influencer that would influence people not to give. You can sit back and say, that wasn't my intent. I didn't say that. Yeah, listen. If I came up here today and said, listen, y'all, I went over to Trader Joe's and all of them people over there, they was just racist. They was over there. They wouldn't help me. They wouldn't. That would start spinning in your mind. That would make you think twice or three times before you actually, go over there to Trader Joe's. Right, that's what I'm saying. No, we like Lovey over here. We like him over here. But that would make you think twice. So, Evangelist, would you say what you say? What you mean what I say? You over there in the storefront church over there on Facebook. Thank you for watching. Truth Seeker, not too much in the chat, Truth Seeker. You know, I don't like that kind of over here. Take that over there to Jives or somebody else. I don't like that kind of talk over here. Because we like CTV around here. He ain't did nothing to me. Bryant and Target is the prime example. If Brian say, I'm not spending my black money over there at Target because of the DEI, because of this, and he gets in front of New Birth, he gets on the internet and says this, he's saying, my, but guess what? He's also encouraging and influencing his folk to do the same. So let's not split hairs around here. So I just need to clarify that. Like I said, I welcome everyone's opinion and your thought on it, and I get it. But I guarantee you, if it was somebody you didn't like, you would have saw what I said and heard me very clearly and understood what they were saying and what I was saying. But and it's, it may be, you may have an affinity for Larry and it's fine. But I'm just still going to speak truth to power. We're not gonna be idiots over here. We're gonna be critical thinkers and listeners and observers and commentators. He said when your encounter was probably based on one employee, right? I could say that. I can try to knock Trader Joe's out, and it was all because of one employee didn't treat me the way I felt I need to be treated. But I done came through and try to tell y'all don't get over there. And about 3 out of 10 of y'all may not even go to Trader Joe's no more. We're mature when you want us to agree, but we're delusional when that's what I'm saying. I'm telling y'all need to see the pattern here. We dumb, we stupid, we idiots when we not in agreement to the bull. But if we in agreement, oh yeah, you know, our spirits are aligned and we're good and and that was an example because we like Trader Joe's. Yeah, that was an example because we like Trader Joe's. But if I came out all of a sudden and started running my yap as an influencer inspire, you may still go, but Truth Seeker may not. So I've damaged the reputation of Trader Joe's. Would this be considered not 100%? 100%. Yes. But listen, again, I just have a real big problem of one day you're saying all hail King whoever, and then in not too many days hence they done lost, they not listening to the word of God. They done lost their way. They supporting the colonizers. So you want us to turn off our critical thinking, turn off everything that they said on your platform in regards to blackness, turn it off because they went to the White House. Okay. All right. All right. If they may not even have a problem. I don't know. That Jordan may not have a problem. Maybe, they said they ain't talked to him since whatever, but maybe they don't have a problem. Maybe they're good. I don't know. I don't know. People are tricky around here. You don't know what to believe sometimes. People just be doing some weird stuff in regards to these so-called relationships and friendships and stuff. But I tell you, I'm with, Timothy Blaine did a little number on it today. And it's just like, he kind of put it out there a little bit more. If you didn't want to give the money no more, just say you don't want to give the money. If you didn't have the money to give no more, you just ain't got it. If you want to give the money to some other country or something, then just do that. In doing that, don't spin a narrative about Trump, because we need to check the books. We need to check the relationships of who you currently are cool with. Have you surveyed the folks that you're talking about? Well, if they're not my mentor, it's another thing. Oh, that's bull. That is bull. That is so much bull. That is bull right there. Yeah, it's a new, child, please stop. It's a new feature that StreamYard does. They put the chat on the screen. That almighty dollar. You said, Jay Boogie said, y'all remember when folks used to break up by text message? I think this would have been a good breakup to do so. Exactly. This would have been a great opportunity just to do the breakup by text message and move along. But again, Some of y'all say, well, he owed it to his followers. Well, he said he did that, and his main followers are Patreon. If you did that, it didn't need to come out here like that. Let people are going to assume, just like after we heard that, we assuming something else. So it don't make a difference. Keep it under there. Leave it alone. Talk to your main support. So that money trainers keep coming in, so they won't trip on you with that, and leave it alone. What's up, Nicola? So I hope all minds are clear with that. I still stand on what I said. Listen, it's the video I did the other day. I put it in the description. You can go to Larry Reed's a page and check it out if you want to. But I stand on my commentary in regards to what I said. Like I said, it doesn't make me the final authority of anything. But I am going to speak to what I heard and what I analyzed and the thought pattern that I think it came from. What's up, Marcellus? I am going to speak to that. And has been using reason to get his name back well, yeah. Yeah. Hit that like button. Only 120 likes, everybody. We need way more likes than that. We have over 300 people here. How dare y'all? How dare y'all? The narrative, what is being hidden. Yeah. And then I'm glad you brought that up. And then to say, church shoes, and then to say, well, there's some things I'm not saying. That also makes us think that there is some kind of weird, devious, or not so, doesn't put Bishop Jordan in a good light that has not been said. You see what I'm saying? To even say, well, I'm not telling everything, or I could say this, or that also puts us to a place where, well, what is Bishop Jordan doing? Yeah. Now we're thinking, what kind of crook is Jordan? What kind of, it just makes us really, it keeps our minds thinking. You see what I'm saying? You said, it seems like the Jake Smiths broke them up in an attempt to spin a different narrative. It gives folks a reason to make their own reasons to fault Bishop. When you say you're not telling everything that you could tell, which means it's something damaging, possibly damaging in your opinion, that wouldn't make him look in a good light. I'm just saying. And then to try to, spin it like, oh, I'm still good with the kids. I'm still good with Manasseh. Let me tell you something about Miss St. James over there, my daughter. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. Outside of your mama, there was a time I couldn't stand her mama, but I still didn't disrespect her in front of my daughter. But if your daddy got a problem, you better have some kind of problem, because you better recognize the spirit as to why I don't want to be bothered. You better recognize the spirit why I don't want to be bothered with them people. And get on the right side. So to come out talking, well, and that's good with me, and see what I'm saying? It's like still like a division. It's like being messy, trying to still do a division in there. You said that connection to Roz and Brent possibly played a factor in the breakup. Well, everybody was playing the blame game over there, Tashi. Oh, he introduced me. No, he introduced me. He introduced me. She was a crook, and none of y'all did any research, and y'all turned off your powerful prophetic skills. Y'all turned them off to make some money. Now she's sitting in prison. Everybody's shaking. What's she gonna say? What's she say? Is the feds investigating? Because the feds, they take a little while. They take a little while. They just lie in wait and they collect information. That's what they do. What you say? He taking that oath, what's sacred is secret. He is in the prophetic school. Is that what that is? What's up, Chosen? Lobster Linda. That's who she was. Yeah, Marcella's in here. I'm going to drop the link. I don't know if anybody wants to come up and talk about some whatever I talked about tonight. There's the link right there. Hit that like button for me, y'all. Y'all hit that like button real quick and in a hurry. Y'all tripping if you ain't hit that like button yet. You're tripping. She went to prison. She's in there locked up with the lobsters in her backyard. That's where she's at. That's where she be. It's not safe over there. That's what Judge Alicia said. It's not safe over there. But y'all, really though, I'm saying, and to be honest, y'all, if you sit back, it's been so much flip-flop. So much friends today, not friends tomorrow. I'm windmilling for you today. Can't stand you tomorrow. I did a whole revival drag session on you yesterday. We're best friends today. Speak highly of me now because you dogged me last week. It's been so much of that. And these are from prophetic people who both sitting on the right hand of the Father or something. It's just the wildest thing in the world. And then y'all come and talk about us and people like me who just speak to it and make y'all open y'all doggone eyes and ears. Y'all, your ears are itching. You got itching ears. You get a Q-tip. Woo. Every wave of doctrine. Give it to me. What's new this year? Give it to me. The water, the numbers, the lights, the dogs. Whatever you're going to give me. I need something new, Jesus. Do a new thing in me. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Just new tactics the way I'm doing it. He wouldn't let them clip their toenails. He wouldn't even let them fan them if they was hot. Couldn't even get that close. Use them today, throw them away tomorrow. I was in a contract over. Now we gonna put you all the way back to where you was when Charisma was running after you. Charisma magazine. And y'all sit there and listen to these people. Send y'all money. I need 3 more people to just do super chats for my goal. But let them ask for 888, 5252, 1888, 2103. Ooh. What was that? Ooh, sin. Ooh. Ain't nothing changed in your life. It's just so as a man thinketh, so is he. Nina said they running out of angles. Why build them up and tear them down? I don't know, Sean. Well, no, not really, Sean. Not tearing them down. You know, y'all don't tear him down. Don't do that. Now, I'm not going to give him a dime because he went to the White House, Sean. But don't tear him down. You know, he's over there with the colonizers. But don't tear him down, Sean. I'm not going to stand for that. He said people like to pay for deception and to be kept in the dark. Oh, that's a heavy price to pay, Jake Boogie. That's a heavy price to pay. Because at the end of the day, you broke, busted, and disgusted. You know, at the end of the day. Hold on, y'all. Tina? Thank you so much, TJ, for putting color on it. Thank you so much. Y'all hit the like button on them super chats. Tina, are you there? You're on mute, baby. Take yourself off mute. All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit more time, Tina. Then I got to take you down. Let me see if I can take you off mute. I can't take you off, but you on mute. Okay, let me remove her till she get herself off mute. She can get off mute. The link is pinned if you'd like to come up. And thank you so much, Marcellus, for putting a color on it. Appreciate you, sir. You say, let me know he lied, the money drying up. Well, Tina's a plant. Well, Tina gonna be back there in the children's church waiting then. It's not safe for him to, he isn't on his level. Ooh, Lord. Didn't take him to the White House. Well, no, he said he got the invitation to the White House. He said he got the invitation to the White House. So, Jesse, is that you? Jesse, you're on mute.
And I'm not. Hallelujah.
What's going on? What's going on?
Listen here. I'm not staying up for long.
All right.
Because I'm out right now, but I just had to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far you want to go, but
make your point. It's your point.
Somebody agrees with me in the chat, and I've been saying this for a while. Jordan and Manasseh has been over there at Larry's platform making subliminals. They didn't come out and just flat out say, oh, we're Trump supporters. But they were throwing a lot of subliminals. And I noticed it even back then. You remember they kept saying, this person is coming, the person that's going to win is coming back like the Phoenix, and he's going to rise in X, Y, and Z.
What, remember the little clip I played when they were sitting there talking together?
I remember you were just like, well, maybe they're talking about Kamala. We don't, because a lot of those.
We were keeping the airways open, but
we were being hopeful because those little loosey-goosey prophecies sometimes that he do, and he's not the worst, but sometimes it'd be like, okay, Bishop Jordan, he's a little bit, out there or whatever. But they've been throwing subliminals around the whole time, and it's not off brand for them. I mean, just look at how Manasseh acts and how he's raised. He's an Italian auntie.
But you wait till November, 5 years in, to all of a sudden say that that's the reason why we're not mentor and mentee anymore. No.
No, they can.
Not if you're a prophet. And just like you said, I knew you voted for. You didn't have to tell me I'm a prophet. Well, see, listen to what you're saying.
Right.
Listen to what you're saying. So don't come in November and say that was the reason. You've been listening to this. There's been subliminals. You've just if you called it. And do you profess to be a prophet, Jesse?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, because I don't.
But you caught it though, right?
Yeah, I caught it. I caught that. And he's sitting right next to you saying things like that. These are people that you've been in close proximity with. Of course, politics, because this has been a crazy political climate over the last 12 years.
It has.
So,
it really has.
So everybody is talking about, actually, politics is the new celebrity culture. We're not talking about Kim Kardashian no more. We're talking about what Trump doing every day. So, please spare me with all these games and lies that you keep spewing out, because we the people just don't believe it. You St. James, you might keep it cute, keep it classy, but I'm just gonna keep it all the way a buck. It's quit telling lies to the people, because we don't and then it's like, oh well, Trump all of a sudden is a non-negotiable and a reason for excommunicating yourself, but not molestation. He's a noble man, he's integral and all of this. You keep going up for all these, child.
But even Darla said the other day, she said, listen, there's been people on his platform that he's gone to bat for that have been way worse than Trump. or even Jordan. They just throw Trump out of there. We haven't heard all these accusations on Jordan that we've heard others on that platform and even himself. So I don't understand this.
Yeah, I mean, I can be mad all day because I've cut off people for voting for Trump myself.
Yeah, I know you was a little ruthless on that.
Oh yeah, I'm radical. I don't care. And I'll stand on business. But I cut off people for that. Some people I did decide to go back and talk to. But I mean, it's just like, hey, it is, that's my personal conviction. But I'm like, when did this start becoming such a big deal? Because Larry, I mean, honestly, truly, I don't go over there to his platform, but I'm like, I don't remember you ever being this, even Jamal Bryant, starting back in January, taking up the charge. I don't remember you doing none of that. When has this become such a political thing all of a sudden? So
it's not a political thing, Jesse.
It's not.
Can I say something? I want to remind everybody in the chat, and I want y'all to listen to me very closely. When Bernard Jordan and Larry Reid first started getting together, Bernard Jordan and George Bloomer were going through a whole situation over at the Word Network. How easily we forget the racial components of their relationship. So let me roll this beam footage back and let me show you how we can cognitively think and understand that Larry is full of it. Okay. When George Bloomer got fired from the Word Network, y'all remember he went over to Larry's platform, him and Bernard Jordan.
Yeah.
And then they were saying that the man over there at the Word Network was a racist. And he he owed Bloomer $600,000. And Bernard Jordan was over there fighting for the black man to get his money and for him not to be discriminated against. So that was Bernard Jordan taking up the charge to make sure that the black man did not get discriminated against. So at what point did Bernard Jordan lose his fight for the black man in relation to his relationship with Larry Reid? If he has been fighting for the black man when Larry met him, at what point did he stop ceasing to fight for black people through the course of their relationship?
America's Black Prophet, is that who he is?
Yeah, that's what they're calling him. But I'm just trying to get you all to see something on the other side of this. This is how you know this is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
If he's fighting for black people on one hand and you're fighting with him, then at what point in the nature of your relationship did he cease from making decisions and going to bat for black issues in the black culture amongst black preachers, et cetera, so that now all of a sudden all your relationship is messed up? Now Larry, and to the LRLers and to the people in the bushes, y'all can tell other people that story. But people who have a brain, all we have to do is think about this in totality, and we realize that Larry is full of garbage.
Yeah. And then and then get upset like we're saying such a horrible thing. No. We're just analyzing what we've been presented with over the last 5 years or so that they were in relation. Come on, 4 years, whatever it was. So don't come at us because now we don't jump on the bandwagon against him and to throw this narrative about Trump out. It's foolishness.
And then, because I saw a particular comment, I'm not sure, I didn't go up and down the feed from your last video, but I saw a particular comment that was basically berating you for, as I said, your wordplay or what specific words were used. But I said, and I replied because, once again, I don't care, ain't nobody gonna whip my tail now. So, I told her, well, wasn't Larry implying not to give the money over? He was just
like
implying.
I said, we're influencers, Marcellus, right? Aren't they what they call us? No, Marcellus, but
absolutely, that is what they call us because I am an influencer.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm fine with that. You can put whatever label as far as that's concerned on us. I'm fine with being an influencer, but here's the key: it's how you influence people,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's the level of influence and the motive behind the influence. So it's Larry's lying. That's all I can say.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and like I said, I don't mind the comments, but it's like if you really open up your thought pattern and stop trying to just drink what you're being told and listen to what's being said,
And
really
I know,
listen with
I,
the ear. Go ahead.
St. James, I don't think that because people have disagreed with you a lot because
Yeah.
you have your own thought pattern. You just like me. I have my
Hmm.
own thought pattern, so it's just something that you used to.
Yeah.
But what I don't like, and this is what's going on nowadays a lot lately, is that people want to sit there and attack your intelligence, and they
Hmm.
want to
Hmm.
attack
Yeah.
your credibility,
Yeah.
and over small minuscule things. And it's like, girl, well, I mean, if you want to get like that, we can actually go outside and we can fight, yeah. But no, for real, it's like that's what people, especially like since MAGA has came back to
Yeah.
power, it's like people, they really have learned I mean, really it comes down to narcissism.
Yeah.
And what I saw with that particular comment, I was like, you're an enabler of a
Hmm.
narcissist because
Hmm.
you want to. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a fan of somebody,
Hmm.
she was sent over this way. I'm pretty sure. But I'm
Yeah.
like, no, and then so I was going to finish off and say, I had replied back to her and I was like, well, aren't you implying, wasn't Larry implying that, not to give the money no more, no matter what the words were said? And she was
Right.
like, well, that's subjective. And
Said that's
she
what I'm
came back.
saying. That's
I
foolish to
said,
even
well,
say that.
I said,
Yeah.
well, if what I said was subjective, what you said was subjective. Don't play these games, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, when you put yourself out there as a prophet, as a pastor, as a spiritual leader, you're doing something way beyond what St. James, what Jesse's doing. We're having commentary, but your thoughts are supposed to be kind of over and above just a regular commentator. You're supposed to be the one seeing, hearing from the Lord. So things that come out of your mouth, people need to connect with and run with.
No,
So
he
when
hearing
you
from the
start,
he for him like, yeah, right. Yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying, I'm just saying.
He was hearing from them African angels that Paula Dean, Paula
What?
Watts.
So when you start talking about all that, then that means you are setting yourself. So I don't allow someone to come back and say, well, he didn't mean that. No, he said what he meant. And he wanted you to connect to what he meant and not support the people that are supporting Trump.
See, because basically Larry, look, and I've been saying this since last year, when I first started coming on here, Larry knows how to play around with words. He knows
Mm-hmm,
exactly what he's doing. That's just like a little kid. Oh, well, I wouldn't personally do it,
yeah.
but you can make up your own decision. Like, okay, yeah, and it's
Knowing
like,
that,
in
they
this.
were seeing that chat, they were knowing what
Mhm.
direction that chat was going in.
Yeah, and I'm like, the scary part about it is, it's like these aren't little 18-year-olds, these aren't little 25 people my age, even, that's
Mm-hmm,
coming
mm-hmm.
back saying things like this to you. These are big 40, 50, 60-year-old adults
Yeah.
that are defending crap. Excuse me, like, when are you going to ever get it?
Creeby says, I had to remove my love for blackness and black culture and really dissect what was really being said to catch the underhanded dishonor and disrespect. Hold on, Creeby. How does it feel when you come out of the wilderness?
Listen, the sad part about this reality is it is the depth of misinformation. It is the depth of lying, mishandling God's people.
Yeah.
It is the overwhelming necessity and narcissistic behavior that this man has that keeps putting him in this position. He keeps falling out with everybody. I don't know how far you've talked about this but there are other content creators who subliminally are speaking about this.
Well, I read Conscience TV's deal before you got on it. I read it in its entirety. Now, I'm not saying that Conscience it directed it towards him because he put no names, but it was very convenient.
Yeah, and it was and it was very telling, and as it relates to his former mentor. You understand what I'm saying? So it is quite sad that these people are not coming, and being honest in the situation. And you have to call a spade a spade. Yeah. Talking around it is a cowardly move, especially when you know what you're dealing with. It's a cowardly move because, being out here on these YouTube streets, one thing that I can definitely tell you, it requires balls. What I'm saying? You can't put yourself up on these screens and tell people your opinions and come out here and give your points of view and not have the balls to do so, because you're going to get all kinds of feedback. You're going to get all kinds of people lashing out at you. But some of us were made for this. Understand that. We were created for it. I'm just saying.
I'm to the point where, I don't know it all, and all my opinions really don't matter. You do. But I before I talk to something, I want to analyze it, think about it. Now, if I had a misstep and I want to come out and I said something wrong, I will come out and correct it. There's times when I had to do that, but I wasn't going to lay down and say, well, and listen to people say, well, no, he didn't actually say, no. You got to see the bigger picture here. Right. And to say that, well, y'all don't dishonor him, y'all don't disrespect him, but I'm holding some shit in my bosom.
Right. Well, and I think all content creators who are respectful will come out and admit that they are wrong and that they can miss the mark, and we can apologize because we're not narcissists. A narcissist will never admit when they're wrong. And I want to say this, all my opinions about Larry are right. You can say yours ain't right. I'll tell you everything I say about that scrotum sniffer be right on the money. Bullseye, ninjas, bullseye. And so let me just say that. But Larry's doing what Larry has always done. He is a user of people. I was having a conversation one time with Vincent, and this is so common straight across the board. If you've watched Larry for years, he just uses people until he can't use them anymore, until he feels like it doesn't benefit him anymore. And then he tries to toss them to the wind. But see, you can't be up in Bernard Jordan's face without giving up no cash.
Yeah. That ain't a cheap friendship there, baby. No. And you know what? I don't fault him because you knew that going through the door. You knew it. You want to get close to Jordan, you want to get close to people like Jordan, it doesn't come without some type of price, whether it be financial or some other. And listen, that's a lot of relationships that we find ourselves in. A lot of relationships are transactional. Marriage is a transactional thing. Things are transactional in life. So what you have to go in with an expectation. Don't go into, well, I didn't know. No, you just didn't want to put up with it anymore, or you just didn't want to give anymore. And I really think it has to do with that monthly stipend that was expected of him to give. I don't think he could afford it anymore.
No, he couldn't. Well, think about this, St. James. Let's go here. He had Lobster Libby over there telling all of these people that come into the Patreon and buy all these stocks, and they all got scammed. And that didn't keep him from stopping the relationship. Losing thousands of dollars didn't even keep him from stopping the relationship that he had with Jordan. With Jordan is the one that he claimed introduced him to her. So then wait a minute. You mean thousands of dollars didn't cause the relationship to be under stress? But somebody going and having a prayer meeting. Let me tell you this. I don't even like Donald Trump. If he invite me to the White House tomorrow, I'm going. You hear me? I'm going to pick up the silverware and the napkins. I'm bringing souvenirs home.
I expect you to go. I expect you to go. I
See,
do.
and
I'm not going.
I know
I'm
you ain't
going.
going, Jesse.
The only reason
I'm
I go
going.
to do the
And you know what?
Shamar.
I don't expect you to go, Jesse, but I expect Marcellus to go.
Listen here, I'm gonna tell you. But Larry acting like he getting invitations to the White House every week. That's why
He
you
would
know
have
this
been
is
there.
bull.
He would have
And
been there.
nobody. Yes, exactly. Because anybody that has any sense whatsoever, if you get an invitation, I don't have to like the president in order to go take a tour. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and enjoy the tour and get the napkins and bring the salt shakers home and say these came from the White House.
And
Okay.
walk through there and rebuking and praying with my anointed oil on the wall. Gotta do something once you in the enemy's camp, Marcellus.
Exactly. That's why I think Larry ought to stop telling these lies. That works for stupid church people. The
It
stuff
does.
that comes out of his mouth, it works for stupid church people. It don't work for people who got a brain.
In the Bible, finally, it talks about going into to the kings and having the influence of the kings and meeting, going in. This talk about that, but people want to just X all that and say, I don't like the king, so I'm not gonna go. That's not Bible. I mean, how can we infiltrate and get in there and make any change without somebody going up in there? I don't
Well,
know.
Larry better tread lightly because first of all, Bernard Jordan knows how to move in these YouTube in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
the Christian streets, and slit your throat, and nobody even know that he was the one that did it.
Yeah.
Larry, and I'll speak to you. You are very aware of how that band moves. So you can play this game if you want to, sir. And you will find yourself on the other side of something that you had no intention of being on the other side of. So here's my advice. Not that you can, take my advice. Shut your mouth, Larry. You
And
don't
be
need to say
quiet.
that. Yeah,
Just
you
be
don't need to say nothing
quiet.
else. Shut your mouth.
About that. Just be quiet and to say this and then say, well, I ain't telling it all because I could tell it.
Well, he's going to tell it all. He's going to tell it all. He's going to tell it all. He cannot not tell it all. He only says those things because he wants you to go run into that Patreon so you can sit up in that Patreon so he can talk about people and then come out in the public talking about he don't never say nothing about nobody. Because that's all they do is run to the Patreon and talk crap about you. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you some ammunition today. I'm going to give you some ammunition. You have stepped in it, Larry. And the tide of your situation with Bernard Jordan has turned around. The atmosphere around your relationship, even your atmosphere on these YouTube streets has changed, bro. People not feeling that stuff. And now you're starting to feel it in your pocket. And now it's got you all concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to stand on my commentary. I'm going to stand on what I feel, what was said, and the spirit that it was said in, and I'm just going to go with it. And I believe there's more thinking my way than not in this chat. And I got emails upon emails and DMs on Instagram saying that they appreciated just my words in regards to what was said. I didn't disrespect. But I really needed to bring light to that to say, listen, it's a very wrong thing for you to treat your mentor that way. And you may say you don't want nobody else to do it, but you're treating him in a very negative way. You're putting a cloud over him that we shouldn't support him after he's been thrown down our throats for 5 years.
My opinion is this, St. James. He never went over there to be mentored by Bernard Jordan. He went over there to master the system that Bernard Jordan uses to raise money.
Right. And
now
that he figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, he don't have no intention. He never had any intention of being mentored by no Bernard Jordan. And that whole shebang about him getting him back his reputation. Listen, with all due respect, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you that are in the chat and for those of you that love Bernard Jordan, I'm sorry to make this announcement. The black folks in the black church community are not fooling with Bernard Jordan. Now his denomination that he was a part of with Roy Brown and them over there, and certain preachers deal with him behind the scenes. But as far as the public is concerned, Bernard Jordan has been relegated to the resources of late night Christian TV. He comes on at 2 and 3 and 1 o'clock in the morning. They're not receiving him on major Christian broadcasting networks and so forth. There is a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry to say it and to just be honest about it, guys, but that's what it is. The Christian community at large does not respect Bernard Jordan, St. James. Come on now.
And there may be some truth to that, Marcellus, but my issue is these pot talking about kettles. My issue is, if we calling one a crook and we ain't gonna call the other one a crook. I mean, you have the same company. You've been in the same company. Now don't it's like what we just experience that, like, give me all the money now because they're a crook. So run over to me now and give it to me. Don't listen to them. But y'all was just in cahoots. I was just in cahoots. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and say who's wrong and who's false. All I'm saying is y'all was together, and now all of a sudden he ain't of God and he's a supporter of the colonizers. Get out of here.
Well, here's the thing too, and I need to say this for all the black people who have never read any black history books. I get so tired of when y'all niggas just discover Africa and that you are black. Like the rest of us didn't read these books and we didn't discover this years ago. Y'all just find out about the colonizers and how all of this stuff came to be. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you want to come out waving your banner trying to preach to the rest of us like we are unaware of this information. It is so annoying to me. Like, Larry, you should have read those books a long time ago. And if you had really gotten those degrees that you claim that you have, you would have known all of this information. All that information is gone. You go through that information in seminary. You go through that information in school. What are you talking about? That's why I said, stop playing with people's intelligence and go somewhere, sir.
And the thing about it, but with my issue I don't have an issue with, let me talk about Jordan. Like I said the other day, I experienced Jordan in my late teen years when he came here for Veron Ash, when I was attending Veron Ash's church. I would ditch our church. We would go over there because this church started about 3 o'clock, or 4 o'clock. We would go over there, and sometimes he would have Bernard Jordan come in. And it was the period where I was having an awakening on traditionalism. And so I could never really throw Jordan out. I know people have their opinion on him, and I'm not trying to get nobody to be over there and start giving money and start, oh hell, Jordan. But what I'm saying, my personal experience has been an awakening on certain things that he's brought to light. So I'm keeping my stuff there, Marcellus. I'm not getting deep all in this privacy stuff and all this other stuff. If people want to do that, let them do it. But what I'm saying is I can keep my honor and respect there of what my experience was. And I'm sure he don't even remember me back there at Veron Ash's church. But I remember him and what he would teach and what Veron would teach. People have their opinions on Veron Ash too. I understand. But listen, your past ain't right all the time. So we're not going to go there. But
when you walk in the light, sir, it's a beautiful light. Come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. I'm just saying, shine all around us by day and by night, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I'm in the light. I'm in the light. So and I think that's the problem. They want us to be blind. Ain't nobody blind. But again, you're not going to now say that this man should not be honored in the way that you honored him before. I'm not going to go with that narrative. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go with the Trump narrative because we can go down the line and see who else you align with that is supporting Trump. And again, we may say supporting Trump, But all we can say is, it's like, if you go to the White House, Marcellus, I understand your reason in going to the White House. You have made it clear that you are not a supporter of that administration. But you have
I'm going.
Right.
I'm going.
Right. Thank you so much, Erica, for helping us reach our goal. We got 1 more minute, I think, to reach our goal, but that's okay. That's all right. 1 more minute, one more super chat, 10 or more, and we've reached our goal. Thank you so much. And she said, enjoyed the show. Keep calling out the BS for the church. And that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, it's in the church. It's been in the church. Thank God for mad church disease and Regina to the juice radio and over here at the carnal church sector, where, you know, sometimes we get a little too carnal around these parts because, you know, we just got to call it out. But again, y'all, go ahead.
It just made me think about Malcolm X when he broke off from the Nation of Islam.
Oh, thank you, Erica. We met our goal. Appreciate you. She said, why not with the 1 minute? Thank you so much. Go ahead, Jesse. Sorry, man.
But it made me think about Malcolm X when he broke off from the Nation of Islam. He didn't go and say, oh, don't follow the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He didn't say, don't stop fooling around with Farrakhan. He just said, this is my belief. This is what I believe in. And that's it. That's all he left it at. He didn't make no personal attacks. But this man over here, he has every personal attack for every time he has a problem with somebody. But I bet you one thing he won't do is he won't run people run me my money. Because I was giving cash apps and 888s at one time. Run me my money.
Run me my money.
Run me my money, Larry.
Stupid. But let's go back to that. Even though he didn't disparage him, Malcolm X, you know, by his words, his followers and other people went his way as well. Just because he was an influencer, he was a faith leader, so you have to really be conscious of or cognizant of what you say to the public. He didn't.
Well,
I'm just
saying. Go ahead.
Well,
but St. James. Now, see, he starts off these videos going, well, if I ever said anything on my platform about you that was disparaging, and you can send an email and I'll go ahead and remove, because we've been removing videos for the last 2 years and all blah, blah, blah. But then you get on the same program and say disparaging remarks about Bernard Jordan. Are you going to take that video down?
No.
You understand the hypocrisy of all, the stupidity of all of this? Come on, bro. Like, who is really this slow? Like, for real.
I'm not going to take that video down. And the thing about it, because in what the Bible say, people are right in their own eyes or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
In his eyes, he's like, we see the dishonor in it. But with him, he doesn't see the dishonor in it. He just sees it as, you know, my time was up. Now I'm a master. I don't need to, you know, his assistance anymore. And then I can throw in there, he's aligned with Trump administration, so I can't support anybody that's aligned with them. I'm stopping my money from it. So it's like, no.
Well, hold on. Well, Carlton Pearson, for those of us that knew Carlton Pearson throughout his whole life, Carlton was a Republican. Let me be very clear. Carlton leaned to the right more than he leaned to the left. When he had his experience with the institutional church, then he started talking about Black issues and social justice issues. But for the main part of Carlton's life, he was not fooling with no Democrats. You love Carlton Pearson, right? So then how all of a sudden now you respect Carlton and you love Carlton and you're friends with Carlton. But then when Bernard Jordan goes to the White House, you're going to have to sever your relationship. Carlton's been to the White House under all the Republican administrations.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And he's not the only one.
No.
Let's be
but
clear.
That statement he also made about the only one not using him was Carlton Pearson. I mean, that was such a
child, because you was using him. You had your phone all out there. That man was in hospice looking a hot mess. He shouldn't have had no camera on him. at the time.
Well, they
Just
said he
totally
wanted to do it. That's what
he
they
was out of that was exploitation, gag order.
I agree, Jesse, 1000%.
Because when you have cancer, you out your mind, you say anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure if that man was on Azusa back in 1995, he would not want himself looking like that in that state.
Right.
Go to hell, Larry. I said it.
Yeah, but you have to know that, because as Bishop Pearson was ailing, you got to know that he was sharp, but there's still, things that probably weren't all the way 100%. So I personally would have said, I love you too much. I love you too much, Carlton Pearson, to have people see you in this light. Maybe record you talking, but not visually people looking.
Audio. Well, I love Carlton. Let me tell you something. And I am friends with a lot of we have mutual friends. I'll just put it that way. Yeah. Listen to me very carefully. That's how I know some of that whole situation that went down with that whole funeral and concert was all a bunch of malarkey. But I ain't got time to go into all of that.
It showed out to be, because it wasn't as successful as they thought it was going to be, because Mike Todd, with all them hips, put Carlton Pearson away very well.
He put him away, and let me just say, the other bishop, out of Florida, Bishop Ray, who actually just passed away a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't even a big fan of Bishop Ray, but he had been friends with Carlton their whole lives, pretty much. That eulogy, or that was the unofficial eulogy. That eulogy he gave at that funeral was one of the best speeches that he has ever given to me since I've known him. And I've been following these people since I was a child. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what Larry thinks he's doing. And he keeps trying to align himself with Carlton Pearson. You just met him 2 damn weeks ago.
I know you just met him last week before he died. Be quiet.
Yeah, just makes me mad. Go ahead, Courtney. I'm sorry.
No, wait a minute, Marcellus. You are hilarious. I wanted to come on here. I couldn't type it all in the chat because I'm driving. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to thank you, St. James, and Darla, if she's in the chat.
I think she is. She was. She's probably listening. She's working with him.
Okay. I wasn't privy to this live. I just literally jumped off. I just got out of Bible study. But I want to thank you for a fresh perspective, actually, from yesterday's live, when you mentioned about how sometimes the prophets need to be in the White House.
Yeah.
And because at first I was like, ooh, if anybody is in there, it's a no. But you were saying that you and Darla were pretty much saying you don't know, what they're doing in there and how they're working. And sometimes, like what you said, sometimes you need to go to the enemy's camp. And so that really gave me a fresh and a different perspective. I just wanted to thank you publicly for that. And we talked about 888. Jesse, listen, I was on the 888 bandwagon too. I was giving my first fruits and 888s and all of that. Trust me.
And praise God, I didn't join that. Praise God, we the people didn't join that funky little Patreon.
Well, Lady Wisdom had a question for you, Jesse. She said, what was the turning point for you to not follow him anymore? What was the turning point? And maybe you can answer that too, Courtney, but you first, Jesse.
Okay. So, I've kind of shared a little bit of it before. Okay. So, when I, got of age, I got out of the church, so I finally found Larry when he was on T.S. Madison, when all of that. So I was like, oh, he apostolic. This is back in 2017. I was like, oh, he apostolic. Okay, he knows some stuff. Let me follow him, because I didn't know nothing about the church world. I didn't know William McCray. I didn't know Jobs. I didn't know none of these people. And so I started following them. And, all those years. And then I just started, during the pandemic, I started paying attention a little bit more. And, I'm just following everything that he's saying. And, he's talking all this astrology stuff. And next thing I know, my life was a living hell by the time the end of 2022 had came by.
You said, what
So
happened? What's
no,
going on?
like I was going through hell, and I'm not gonna go into all of what happened, but it was just a lot going on. Okay. So, I don't know. Something just woke up in me and was like, you need to quit following him. And then shortly thereafter, I started following St. James. I don't know how that happened, but you know, then the Vincent stuff started coming out. So everything that I was being drawn out of, pretty much I was justified in my reason for leaving that platform alone. But I sat there and watched all of those lives with Prophet, especially when Prophet Jordan came on. I really like, because sometimes, like, I'm like Uncle Tim. I'm like, Leah, you talk too goddamn much. Hurry the hell up. We ain't got 3 hours to hear you talk about nothing, but it's like, I watched religiously when Bishop Jordan would come on, and now at 31 years old, I'm like my mom always said, all that prophecy stuff, it's like, that's nothing special.
Yeah.
And I've been prophesied to a long time ago about a lot of different things, but here's the thing. Those prophecies never came true, because guess what? I didn't believe in myself. And guess what else? I didn't do the work. So you can be prophesied to all day long, but it's up to you. You're the controller. Well, you're not the controller. God is. But God gives you free will to control part of your destiny.
To say who you gonna listen to, where you gonna bend your ear. Yeah.
And
that. Hit that like button, everybody.
And the last thing I'm gonna say to that is, God will give you a vision or a dream of what you want to do, and you'll think about it, and then somebody else will come back. It can be anybody. It can be in church. It could be, somebody at work. It could be anybody on the street. They'll let you know what you need to hear. You don't have to pay no 888. You don't have to listen to, Mr. Pink Lotion, all day.
But like Jay Boogie said earlier, it's some people, they just need it. They crave it. You gotta have direction, verbal direction.
Yeah.
But it gives them, takes their part out of it. Their part in working for their own life, they take themselves out of it. That take themselves out of praying, take themselves out of really having a real relationship with God and a relationship with Christ. It takes them out of it if you just listen to somebody tell you what you need to do and you give them some money. Now I could just lean on you. I don't have to be my mediator, be my paraclete.
Yeah, you turning them into God, and that's not fair. And you can't. These in the Bible, they didn't make that big of an emphasis on the prophetic gift and all of that. It was, they didn't go into the what the 3 wise men did, on their 3rd birthday. Who cares? Like, it's just like
the sun turned this day, and stars.
they just brought their little myrrh and frankincense and went on about their day, honey. Y'all be too invested into the wrong mess.
Nobody wants to do the work. That's the quote of the night, Jay Boogie. Nobody wants to do the work. They want an easy way out. And it's, life is not easy. And salvation is free, but as Patterson said, it ain't cheap. And if something's not cheap, that means it costs you something. And it don't cost you just sending money to a prophet. And simply, I'm not sitting on my platform telling you not to believe in prophets, because prophets are in the Bible. Okay?
Correct.
That's not my agenda. What I'm getting you to believe, start listening to these so-called prophets.
Amen.
Listen.
Now I want
Go ahead.
I want Courtney to answer your question, but before Courtney answers, because she didn't answer your question yet.
Right.
You on the hot seat, Courtney. Let me just say this. is what you're saying is it's what I call people always being hooked up to the spiritual IV of church or someone else. That's why my channel is called Mad Church Disease, because people are always hooked up to something in order for them to get spiritual nourishment, but they're always typically hooked up to the wrong thing or person. Listen,
Yeah.
Jesus came and died so that he could point us back to the Father.
Yeah.
Your relationship with the Father is what should be paramount with you in your relationship, and that supersedes your relationship with all of these bishops, evangelists, prophets, etc. Nobody can stand before God for you but you. Now, if you believe in that tribunal that's going to be in heaven, where everybody got to stand up and give an account for every single deed that they've ever done, you're not going to be able to use Larry as no excuse when you stand before God. You're not going to be able to use Jordan as no excuse, because people got all right. That ain't gonna work. I just want to set that out there. Just want to put that out there.
Well, Larry said, because that's people's favorite quote.
Now you sound like Pearl. Now you sound like Pearl.
We don't know. I don't know Pearl. Larry said, God ain't gonna. God don't take Larry says, But and one more point I wanted to make before Courtney goes. But I was just gonna say, like, for a lot of us, we keep going in this cycle, whether we go from a church, whether we go to a Larry Relive, Bishop Jordan, scheme set up by Manasseh Jordan. We keep going in these cycles, and we wondering why we're not getting to our destiny, because God is like, I'm right here, and the plan is right here. You should have been went to him.
When you finish listening to everybody else, I'm still right here.
Yeah, so
I love the song Fred Hammond sings, I am here. I mean, because it's God just saying, listen, you're doing all this other stuff. You're listening to every sound, every wave of doctrine, your ears are itching so bad you need some, medicine for them. But I'm still sitting here waiting for you to trust in me, listen to me, seek me. That, and these people who want the quick fix salvation and the quick fix relationship, they're always going to cater to these people, 888s, 25.99s, 2.99, whatever. They're always going to cater to those type of people. And then they're going to find themselves lost, and they'll understand they're not living their life more abundantly, as the scripture said, because you're depending. You're allowing these people to live more abundantly with all your cash. But go ahead, Courtney.
Okay, so for me, and please let me know if I'm talking too loud.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I go way back to when Elisa and Vincent, aka Buddha at the time, were doing the show together. Like I go way back with Larry, his show or whatever. So I was riding with him. I was a part of Patreon and all the things. When Bishop Jordan entered the picture, I started doing the Taruma and was on the financial wellness plan and all the things. And that was because I wasn't connected to a local church at that time yet. Because I was fresh in Houston. And so I was looking for a church home. So, and this was like around COVID at this time. But what happened for me was not only did I connect with the local church, but some of his spiritual practices did not align with my belief system and my doctrine. And so, to that end, I said, well, I'm not deep enough, right? So I'm going to get out of Patreon because I'm not deep enough, because I just couldn't get with that. But I was like, I'll still, support the platform. And the progression kept getting worse and worse, to the point where it's like, I love you, Larry, but I don't really believe anything you say anymore. And we're definitely, not aligned spiritually at all, because I do not agree with some of his practices, and that's his practices, and that's fine. But for me, I was like, I can't. And so now I'm at the complete and total point to where I've just fallen completely off.
And your eyes are not cloudy, your eyes are open.
My eyes are open. But let me say this. I do take slight issue.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do take slight issue with people really putting the prophetic on the pinnacle here, or holding it up in higher regard, above pastors, above all the other gifts.
And then that you don't need a pastor thing, kind of slipping that in there. Slipping that in there. That's messing with the church people's mind too. You don't need a pastor, you just need a prophet.
And that goes against the Bible. That goes against the entire scripture. Okay, let me hush. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Courtney.
He was talking about, your pastor's stupid. If you're not doing this, your pastor dumb, all those things. So I really take issue with that, because every joint supplies. We need every part of
Come on now.
Right? So I did not like that, and I believe that is marketing in order to get you to continue to give.
Yes.
And one last thing, and I'll let it go. When he got on his platform, and you discussed this the other night, and said, don't give to Bishop Jordan, I said, wow. Because who has gotten on their platform and said, aside from Vincent, and said, don't give to Larry Reed?
Right.
And considering Marcellus, my bad. But given the size of Larry's platform, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if we don't need to give to the good bishop, because see, you promoted him on your platform.
Yeah.
We were given the 888s and the Tarumas and the first or whatever else, right? So if that's the case, then we don't need to give to you. Well, I'm not giving to you, but I'm saying those, everybody else. That means that they don't need to give to you then. So how dare you tell people not to give to him after you've been bolstering this man up for years? It's the audacity for me. It's how many times, and I'm done, it's how many times do you have to get on your platform and kind of give a statement as to why you separated from somebody? Because this has happened more than once. So now we have to take a look at you. Where is your discernment to see that? And I understand sometimes relationships may grow apart or whatever the case may be, but come on now. You can't go from this is my mentor and all the things that y'all give to him and we're doing all of this to don't give to him anymore. Okay, I
don't know if you heard the first statement, and and some people had an issue with that because that wasn't what it exactly said. It was, I'm not giving to anybody who goes to that administration, blah, blah. So that was the inference as to, follow me,
But Jordan, go ahead, Courtney. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm asking the question. So he didn't say it, because if he didn't say it, then let me correct myself publicly, because you know how this thing goes. So if he did not say that, I, Courtney Phillips, apologize. Please do not drag me. I'm sorry, I misheard. I apologize.
But this is why this is such crap. Bernard Jordan was over there prophesying about Donald Trump becoming the president before he ever even became the president.
Thank you.
And we knew that Donald Trump, when I knew when Joe Biden tapped out that Donald Trump was going to win. You didn't even need no prophet for that. I don't even know why people sitting up trying to prophesy something that was quite obvious. Yeah. She had 100 days, people, to run a campaign. Y'all need to understand that, okay? And if you know politics, you know what you're dealing with. But St. James, there was something that you said that I had to comment on, because I came on to say something about that. I clicked on the button for something else, but Larry is just. Listen, the reason why I say people should stop giving to Larry is for the same reason why he says people should stop giving to Bernard Jordan. They're flakes and frauds, and they're supporting people who are not supporting you. I feel like a lot of these content creators are doing things and working against the very people that are in their chats. and of supporting them in their Patreon. He bought a whole crook into the Patreon.
Yeah.
A
And
crook.
tried to and really tried to like gloss over it. Kind of gloss over it like it was a thing, but it wasn't a, I lost $30,000. Yeah, but yeah. Let's talk to how this woman infiltrated y'all camp, and y'all as prophets let her come sit at your dining at your table and eat.
And then when Lamar Whitehead, scammed the people,
yeah,
you made it a big ass deal, and you all on CNN, but when you're in the hot seat doing the same scams and schemes, now all of a sudden, it's okay,
yeah.
It's not right, Larry, and you're not right, and it's but it's one thing that Courtney said that I just made me think, because he loves saying, "Oh, your pastor shouldn't be poor," or he alludes to that type of stuff. Well, what about your daddy? Because don't they still live in a trailer? Gag order.
Mighty God. Now that was too long, Jesse. That was
Living
long.
home in the trailer. Dun, dun,
That
dun,
was
dun, dun.
long.
Mom, I'm coming home to you. Listen here. Larry would spit on the ground and drown his mama in it if he thought it was going to take him back to that trailer. That ninja so afraid of that trailer, he will scrape, crawl, and squall to get
Yeah.
y'all to give him that money so he don't have to go back to that trailer.
Yeah.
Y'all, that was low. I'm here to say
That
it.
was low. That
That
was
was
That ain't
low.
no
low.
Oh,
low.
no,
That
no,
ain't no
no.
low.
That was
That ain't
too
no
Mm-mm.
low.
low. That's the truth. Listen, sometimes the harshest reality is the thing that we have to learn to face. We don't want to face the reality of certain things because we think, oh, I'm not trying to be harsh or be mean. When
Mhm.
when 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 Dale Moore told me where Larry Reed came from, and he came from that trailer, and his mama still live in that trailer to this day. I said that changed my whole perspective on Larry Reed. That explains why he buys so much gaudy jewelry.
But
For those of us that's had something in our life, we
Mhm.
recognize the people that never had nothing. They the ones that go out here and buy all this big old jewelry, and I have to wear all of these big old hats and fur sweaters and all of this kind of stuff because they never had it. So when they get a little piece of change and money, they go buying it. Like old Kevin Bond over there with his Gucci every Sunday. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. You understand what I'm
From
saying? And
that's
that's
why
why
the few
Chinatown
more
to the
Sundays they just
warehouse.
shouting that Gucci.
and that's why the
Come
doors
on,
is about
Saint
to be
James.
closed.
Yeah.
You in. Come on. Be diplomatic now. Tell them.
No,
What's too
no,
low?
Courtney, that I live in, Detroit, but I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan. And for me to get to Saginaw, I have to go through this city. It's called Flint, right?
Mhm.
And in Flint, there was a man, there was a prophet actually. His name was Eric Mays.
Oh yeah. The
And
counselor Eric May.
Prophet Eric Mays said, when you go low, I take it to hell. Okay.
But you know
When you go low,
what made me think
go
about
go
that?
ahead.
Think about a few things. It's like, and I don't like to get into family drama stuff, but he even mentioned on the video the other day that, he was estranged from his parents for 20 years. And all under the auspice of I was pretty much more spiritual and they didn't understand me.
That's not the truth either, but I'm not going to talk on that because I don't. I'll say that for the Mad Church Disease platform.
You do that. You do
Oh
that.
yes, you got that
But that
before you.
but that makes you think about people in relationships and how they handle relationships. If they can be estranged that long from a father and a mother, I'm just saying, I mean, how do they really value these types of relationships, other relationships outside of the family? Because you would think that relationship between your parents and father and a mother and a son and a mother and a son and a father would be so special. But I was,
Absolutely, that's a good
and
point.
it's like you
That's an
have to
excellent point.
consider that. You have to consider it. Why would they put these other people up so high when there wasn't really a relationship for 20 years? So I don't know.
And there really ain't no relationship now. But let me just say this. I'm just saying. But let me say this. St. James, the first picture of God that we have in our lives as children is our father and our mother. Because when you go to your father and your mother and you ask for something, they give it to you. Much more like your heavenly father, when you ask something of him, he supply it for you. He gives you this example because those are the places of security that you feel. The places where you're nurtured and you're developed is when in those relationships between your mother and your father. How is it that a grown man can get on a platform and talk so disparagingly about his mother and father consistently? And then everybody just gloss over it and be like, oh, and as long as he say a couple of nice things, y'all gloss over all the horrible things he done said, And so that's why I said, no, you have to really listen to him with a really good ear. And it's easy to pick apart when you do.
Yeah, and I was just about to say.
Let me speak to this real quick. And what I'm saying is, I don't know what happened there. But I have to consider, it's just a consideration. If it can be a constraint for 20 years, I don't know if it was the parents' fault, if it was his fault. I don't really know the dynamics in it. It could be a toxic situation. I don't know on either part. I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is you have to consider people are okay with cutting other people off.
Well, I do know because I don't talk to Larry's childhood friends. See, y'all can't say.
But I don't want to get into that, Marcel.
I know you don't, but I'm talking to Truth Seeker just so that it's established. Some of us do know. We do know some of the dynamics of these relationships because we have talked with some of his childhood friends, and I, as well as Daryl, has even spoken with some people's relatives over there. I'm gonna hush on that part. So you don't know what we know, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all told us that we didn't know all the stuff that we knew before, and now all of this stuff done come out, and you have to admit to the fact that all of this stuff that we told you before was true. So let's
just sit back and let it play out.
Let it play out. Amen. Bless God.
And one more thing, the Truth Seeker, it's a lot of things that we wouldn't know if Larry would shut the hell up.
Right.
We don't need to know all your ins and outs or all of this and that. I mean, unless you want us to talk about it. Right. But y'all gotta stop doing that. And y'all be doing that in your personal relationships, even outside of YouTube too. Somebody tell you something. Sometimes you need to Larry just needs to go to a therapist about a lot of this stuff because we all been through a lot of trauma with our Black parents if we just keep it a buck. But he sensationalized every damn thing. And then when we come back and we talk about it and add this into the conversation, now we're being too harsh. But when people over there on the other side, y'all don't be going into their chats, checking them, telling them, oh, you going in too far, you going too far left. St. James, first of all, ain't even said too much of nothing about Larry for real. It was me and Marcellus roasting and gagging. But y'all got to cut this out because I'm tired of seeing this.
And people are going to do it, and I expect them to do it, and that's fine. But but I don't think I went too far. What I said, I just put a question on the table. It has to be a thought that's put towards.
But you don't go too far. Let me just say this as a content creator and somebody who does this. What I have noticed, especially over the last several weeks, I am not taking any. Well, let me speak for me and the Mad Church Disease channel. This does not reflect the thoughts and opinions of none of the other people that are on this screen. Let me just say this. I realize, Jesse, that the reason why some people start doing that and saying these types of things in the chat, because they're trying to control you and control what you're allowed to say and you're not allowed to say. Excuse me. I have been dealing with this man long before most of you. I remember Larry with Hawaiian shirts that were buttoned all the way up to the top. That some of you don't even go that far back. You understand what I'm saying? I know when Larry first showed up. Okay, so you don't know. You don't know some things like some of us know because we've been following for years. We done heard these lies since forever. So don't go there. Absolutely, Courtney.
And at the end, Oh, go ahead,
So
Larry. I mean, oh, well, short. I'm sorry.
I think that I probably started that by saying that Jesse and Marcellus had gone too far. St. James, by no means, I did not say that you
No,
went too far.
no,
I
it's
think that
fine. No, that was
talking,
cute, but like they said, they get in Larry's
I
chat
think I
too.
probably led the charge on that. I hope I didn't, but if I did, let me
No. You're
take
fine. You're fine.
No,
responsibility for
you
that.
don't
You're
apologize. We two big grown, men. So we, ain't no apologizing for me and Marcellus. We gonna stand on business. And
Clearly,
and yeah, no, you don't have to ever
No, but it was
apologize for what we
Chick's
said.
opinion, and I responded. So I don't think it was just a question on the table, and it's fine.
And
It's
Right,
fine.
and I respect everybody. I respect you. I respect them. Jesse, and I'm a hush, but sometimes as a content creator, St. James, this is what I'm learning. These folks love to poke the bear. They love to poke the bear with the content creator. That you're having a conversation and you're talking about something, and then they come over here with this effective commentary in the comment section, and I realize why some content creators just cuss folks out in the chat. We come
hmm
over here and we're nice and we're calm and we're respectful, and they get in the comment section and be disrespectful. Don't come to my juke
No, no, no,
joint t-
no, no.
and
But
it's
telling me
and
what I can say and can't
but
say.
again, everybody,
hmm
they're not they're not disrespectful. They're
Right.
hmm
just making a point. Okay,
hmm
you're
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah, I just
We're
wanted to
all
be.
good.
I wanted to be before the girls go back and do reply videos. I just wanted to be understood, overstood, and stood. Y'all, some of y'all need to stand up sometimes.
Uh,
Um, that it wasn't St. James that said that. This was our opinion. And there's
mhm.
one more thing I want to say. Larry is a part of what I was talking about earlier. The way society is going, there's a spirit, a dark, evil, narcissistic spirit that's upon the land. And Larry is one of those people because, he's talking about, I can't support Trump, but I'm like, you act just like him, You act just like him. You a
Yeah.
cult leader, So he's a part of that this thing that's trying to establish in the land. That's why I be going in so hard when topics about Larry comes up, because he reminds me a lot of people that I've been battling against since my youth. So,
Mm.
that's why I feel so strong about Larry, because you're not going to sit here and lie in my face and have me question my intelligence. And from that time, I don't know if you remember, St. James, that time Larry came in your chat when it was Buddha versus Larry and all of that
Yeah.
stuff was going down, and Larry came in the chat. From that day, I've been on his. I mean, I already was on his
Oh,
ass,
you
but
you was heated. You was
I was really heated because you remind me a lot of a lot of my family members,
Mhm.
including my father. And I said it on that night back then. He reminds me a lot of my family members.
Mhm.
Y'all sit around and lie, and then you go back and you hide your hand. And I always was ostracized because I kept it a buck. And I
Yeah.
didn't play with them niggas, even 5, 6, 10 years old. I'm not gonna tell you I love you if I don't fuck with you. Excuse my
Yeah.
language. But
Yeah.
if I don't fuck
Mhm.
with you, I don't love you. Not today. I might love you
Amen.
tomorrow, But I don't do all that fake
the
stuff.
monetization gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, be hot or cold, or get spewed out of the Lord's mouth, according to the scripture. But let me just say, I never cussed anybody out. I want that to be established. I never said one swear word, and I've never cursed anybody. And let me also say this: I'm not mad. The name of the channel is called Mad Church Disease.
Right.
I'm not mad at anyone. The reason why I'm sitting in this recliner, sipping on this delicious grape juice while talking to you all,
Come on,
is
communion.
because, right, because I'm not bad. We're having a conversation, and so it is what it is. Courtney, I yield.
Oh, hold on, y'all. Before you
No,
do
I
that,
was
I
being.
put a poll in
Oh,
the
no.
chat. The poll says, "Do you believe Larry told the truth regarding the breakup?" And I know they don't like to use that word or whatever, but it's the word I chose to use tonight. All right. So go ahead and put in your opinion in the poll. I want at least a couple hundred of you to vote. We're only at 41 votes right now. Okay. So just vote. This is an unofficial vote. I just want to get the sense of the chat, those in the bushes that don't drop down. which is fine. I still want to know, what do you think? Are we missing something? Or do we going to have an overwhelmingly yes, he told the truth? Or are we going to have overwhelmingly no? So it's just a poll. All right. You said
No,
not
I
the whole
wasn't.
truth, his version of the truth. Go ahead.
I wasn't saying anything. I was being funny when Jesse had said the F bomb. I said monetization
I
gone.
know.
That's all.
Monetization gone. Pew! That's all right. We hit our goal
I was being
tonight. We
funny.
hit the goal tonight.
We at 2 hours, so they ain't gonna pick up on it. AI.
Yeah, and we in. We all the way in. We all
I bind the
Oh,
spirit of
okay.
AI in the name.
right. They only gonna listen to the first part of it. That's on AI.
I got one of them
Oh,
William
okay.
McCrae prophecies in the
Right.
name of Jesus.
And then that is so crazy to me. And Tony Thomas over there, and it's like it's just making it doesn't make us see prophecy in a good light, especially when they start saying, well, this is how Larry does it. This is how I was taught by Larry. And it's like all this stuff is running together, and we just can't take none of this stuff serious. We just can't.
Well, St. James, that's why I get emotional. Some lady emailed me today. This is real talk, you all. I swear to you, the God is my solemn witness. I got an email today from a woman. She said, Marcellus, I went over there and I watched because I guess Kearney Thomas was on there or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she said, I was desperate because I got a lot of stuff going on in my life.
Mm.
And she said, what do you think about this? And she asked me some questions. And my heart just sank. Because regardless of anything, the most people that are coming on these internet and fooling around with these people are seeking for something, right? They're believing God for something, but they're running into this kind of foolishness. And that's what really gets me, and I'm not trying to be over spiritual or anything, but I mean, people are looking for answers. People are hurting. People are really struggling. And then you're going to run into this kind of stuff. And so I have no sympathy for these people.
Exactly.
Y'all need to learn. Y'all need to learn how to stop allowing yourselves to be sucked into the emotionalism of our love of God. Because we love God, we gotta love the foolishness that these people try to do in the name of our God. That is an absolute no. Emphatically, there are vessels of honor and there are vessels of dishonor, and you need to learn the difference.
Yeah. And you know what? And like I said, take stuff at its face value. I consider that entertainment. Now, it's sad that they use God and the spiritual things for it, but me in my clear, spiritual, baptized, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized at times, okay? Mind, I know how to discern truth from the false. And nowhere in the world I'm over there listening to Kearney Thomas and William give me a prophecy.
Baby, because when they got the whole BET when I was in middle school, high school lineup over there. Once you get done with one, then you bring the other back in. And it's like, who is y'all playing with? Because and I remember like waking up, all of us we would come to school, and we would be like, did you see that man on there screaming like that on BET? Anybody that's screaming and yelling like that, has he has a psychological condition. That's Tourette's, honey.
Listen here, when that woman when he said, do you feel it? She said, I don't. I was done with Kearney.
I'm concerned though with the fact that this is the training that you're getting for your podcast.
That's the scary part.
That concerns me tremendously.
This is what's going to get you some money.
Right. And
that's the scary part. Yeah.
It is way
because it has
too
nothing
obvious.
to do with anything spiritual. If you listen, they're repeated stuff. They're repeated words or prophecies, and it's all about the money. Let me speak to this. Nicola, messy ass Nicola, says, do you think Larry will betray Lovie? Well, the thing about it, Lovie doesn't care, in my opinion, if that comes or not. I don't think Lovie's rise or fall depends on Larry, because I don't think Larry has that type of pull anymore in regards to, you can talk about somebody and you can drag them or whatever, but we see where that's getting things now. We are anticipating for the 27th, Marcellus, of the response from TD Jakes.
My
Okay.
question is, what happened with, and hey, Nicola, what happened with them that Lovey didn't donate the $10,000?
Well,
I don't think
and
they
again,
hit the same.
that was something that came from Vincent. I don't know if that is for real. I can probably ask Lovey, but I don't know if he would even tell me, to tell you the truth. But that's very interesting to me if that happened. It's very interesting to me if that happened. That there was a money need and Lovey didn't do it. That tells me maybe Lovey is saying, no, Negro, I see you. No. I see you, as Nene says. I see you.
We see each other.
We see
Yeah,
you.
I was just about to say,
You.
we see each other.
We see each other. I'll keep you at bay. I'll keep you where you need to be. But going across into that friendship level, into that level where I'm really supporting you, I don't think so. So I don't think Lovey is that crazy to allow there to be even a breakup like that, or if he's so-called betrayed. I don't think he cares. There's no game, Giselle.
Could it be that it was a scheme set up by a $500 super chat?
Well, listen. You know what? And Lovey can give, but listen, he can come over here and give me 3, 4, 5 of them, and I'll take it. But it's my mind doesn't change to fit, from reality. But I don't need to pick a fight with people or to keep saying you're false, you're false, you're false, you're false. That don't make me no difference, because I'm not over there. I'm not giving to Larry, so I don't care if he's false or he's real. I don't care. I don't give to him. So it is what it is. But as with God them fallen, I don't know. I don't even know what the real relationship is, to tell you the truth. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know if it's what we think it is.
All I know is if we getting down this bad to tell, bad business dealings, and it's been less than a year. It's only been what, 1, 2, 3, 4, less, about 6 months since everything went south. And we got to do this for content now.
Yeah.
That's very telling of what's going
on. And that's what I say. I think it was for content.
Oh yeah,
I think
it was definitely
a needed thing for content, for clicks and views and AdSense checks. That's my opinion. Because you don't come out here and do that and put Bishop Jordan out like that just because you think you owe something to the people. You don't owe us anything. You go talk to the people in Patreon, your Celestials and all those people that you said you already talked to, and it should have been a moot point. Should have been a moot point.
Yeah, it's I mean, people talk about integrity, but you having a public outcry, not outcry, but just a public falling out, that doesn't sound too integral to me.
What has Jordan said?
Not oh, he down there praising how great
Jordan ain't said nothing. I got 2 Courtneys down here. Hold on, y'all.
He said, how great is our God? That's what he said.
Courtney, is that you?
It's me. Something had happened.
Okay, let me throw your other one off.
Okay.
Are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right.
Where's Marcellus? I had a question for him.
I don't know. He dropped off. His phone must have he ain't came back up yet.
Okay. Has he already given his commentary?
Oh, drop the link. It's pinned. Oh, but I'll drop it again. I'll drop it. Say it again.
Did he already give his commentary earlier?
On the video?
Yes.
No, I think he's waiting until Friday. I think he's going to do it Friday.
Okay. Okay.
I think he has a special word that let me tell you, Marcellus is going to hell if he don't stop. Jesus. Oh, Lord. He's planning a meeting on Friday.
All right. Do we have any Jake's updates?
No, 27th of this month, next week, they're supposed to respond to Tyrone Blackburn's ridiculous last motion. So they have to the 27th to respond. So we should see that next week. You know, they're very methodical. They're very they like to slam. They like to slam Tyrone. So
there's gonna be a meeting.
Unlike Tyrone, who does cut and pasting. See, he's out there clout chasing with Diddy right now. And he ain't thinking about the windfall that's about to beset him. So
now, one question I got. I don't know if it was brought up when Darla was on the other night or yesterday. Did Jake's lawsuit have anything to do with the breaking up? Do we think that, or is that too much?
I think there's people around here that believe that
because we the people is me the people actually.
That's a good question.
Is because I was just like, it to me, the way everything just flows. Jake's come out with the lawsuit. We're all on YouTube talking, and things. And to me, it seems like Jordan cut off all communication.
Yeah, he did.
And it wasn't about Trump and all of this. That's what I personally think, not the other way around. No, the Trump had nothing to do with that at all.
You're a grown man. Let's say you got a son, and some other man has had your son on a platform for a whole year, saying that your son was going to sue one of the America's most foremost preachers. Imagine, Jesse, that you as a father having to bail your son out once before because of millions of dollars of robocalls. And now some other man has your son on a platform claiming that he's bringing him and your son back together. Just imagine, Jesse, that you do that for over a year. Imagine what a father's response is going to be to that. I'm going to try and save my child from the foolishness of this vlogger
that I see coming down the pike. There's a whole steamroller coming down, and I see it, and I need to snatch my son from over there. That's why I don't like the inference of, well, I'm still talking to Manasseh. He came to my house. Why do we need to know that? Why do we need to know that? We don't care. But he wants to put that out there, and it's kind of a dagger to Jordan.
Well,
I still got your son over here at my house, even though you ain't talked to me since January.
Even though we know the history of what happened before.
But James, the reason why he does that is to try and legitimize himself and to make people think who support Jordan and who support Manasseh that they're still supporting him in some aspect or way. It is to make people think, it's smoke and mirrors. It's to make people think he's something that he is not. And it's unfortunate that when you have these types of conversations, that because we're literally thinking and we're methodically walking through these concepts. And yes, on some level, we're speculating, and I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, you prove me wrong where my speculations have not later come out to be.
We ain't that far off.
Prove me wrong, because I can take you all the way back.
We ain't that far off.
Devils.
And I bet you that he's talking to Manasseh as much as he had talked to Kiara Shear at that time when, Kelly had been taken off of her Instagram all of a sudden. You're calling people and telling them, telling we the people out here, oh, yeah, I'm going to call Kiara and let her know, don't, make sure. But I was like, wait a minute, Dorinda blocked your ass.
Yeah, so why? So now you're going to slap Dorinda in the face by saying, oh, I'll just call Kiara.
Knowing good and
Dorinda don't want nothing to do with you.
Right. And I'm pretty sure because, Kiara and Dorinda are very, very, very close. Like, Dorinda took Kiara out on tour when she was first coming out. So, they're really close. So I don't think if Dorinda say, Kiara gonna say, I'm pretty sure Bishop Shear is the main one saying hell to the no.
You bet not. You bet not. Yeah. Yeah.
And I support Nicola. I just want to say, Nicola, I support your good trouble. Your good trouble asks good questions, and I like your good trouble because sometimes,
Yeah.
those of
We
us
do.
who create good trouble, we
Mhm.
create change, and so I like your good trouble.
And you invoke thinking and different, yeah, fake name dropping, all that stuff, calling people on the phone, and just to prove to people. You know how many celebrities and gospel artists and preachers that I have in this phone?
Oh, speaking of that, I saw you dancing over there with Vincent Bohannon. We will fight, and yes, we will win, sir. I said, look at St. James over there rocking. I say,
St. James was getting it
for you. I said, I was looking for you. Yeah. But the thing about it, it's not a matter of all these things that people are doing just to get some kind of clout, just to prove to the people that you are somebody. It's just not necessary to do that.
And
it's just not necessary.
we see how much of a somebody you is when you couldn't even gather up enough people to get in that choir singing all them
25.
black people down there in Atlanta without you having to actually pay people.
That was telling. That was telling.
On a Monday, because Mondays nobody's really
nominated and couldn't get 25 people, and 15 of them was in the tenor section. I mean, I'm just saying.
It wasn't no we, it was giving William McRae,
It was underwhelmed. Yeah, very underwhelmed. And they kicked me out because I was sitting there looking at it and talking about it.
And you charged for Carlton's funeral, and then you talking about you was gonna get. Don't get
Ray
me started.
said he got a refund.
Don't get me started. Yeah, Gina was supposed to get the money. Gina and the kids, huh? Larry, you know what you said? You said you was charging because you wanted to make sure that you gave them a sizable offering. Isn't that what you told the people, Larry? Okay, let me hush.
How you have a VIP section at a funeral?
I was trying to figure out why he needed to borrow $200,000 to $300,000 from Jordan. Again, we wouldn't know it unless he told it. Why did he need to borrow $300,000 from Jordan? And was that $800,000 you paid him part of the $300,000 part of that $800,000 you paid, or did you pay back that plus $800,000?
St. James. He had a.
He paid $3 million. I can't get it together.
He has a harem of masseuses and men. He has to be stocked up on pink oil moisturizer. I'm just trying to tell you, St. James, the life that this man is living. Now, most of y'all don't even remember.
Was VIP there.
But he also has a marijuana dealer. He got a weed dealer. He got a weed man that he got to pay. I'm just saying, you all act like this is stuff that he hasn't said out of his own mouth. I'm just repeating what the dum-dum said out of his own mouth.
Yeah, so, I'm still trying to figure out why he needed to borrow that money from Jordan. And it doesn't make him look good because he could borrow the money from
when you
Jordan.
in debt, St. James, and you ain't paid what you needed to pay, and you owe people, and you haven't done the things that you need to do. You got to borrow money. You got to borrow money. I'm just saying.
Someone said they just got another loan declining thing the other day.
Decline.
I don't know why we trying to get loans.
Decline.
And my problem with the both of them, Jordan and Larry, what do y'all need all of this for? I've said it before. I'll say it again.
But they needed to survive, and you need more and more and more, Jesse. It's not like it cuts off. They need more.
No, you need more to play up this whole celebrity thing.
Correct.
That's not real, because you're really not a celebrity, But anyways. But yeah, it's like you don't have a storefront church. Y'all just got these little, studios down there in Atlanta, which, it doesn't cost that much to build stuff in Atlanta, honestly.
The studio's in his house.
Exactly. So it's just like y'all, you don't have a storefront church. what are you doing with this money? Because here's the thing, when it's time for, your family, if you going to the Ambient network or whatever that mess called, or Zoe Menace,
Ambient mean the sleepy time.
child.
But he's taking care of several families.
Yeah,
There
there's
we
a
go,
lot going
Courtney. I
on
was
there.
just about to say
There's a
that.
Well,
lot
no,
going on.
yeah, but I'm just saying, what is the benefit for people that are paying into that? Well, when it's time for your family to have a funeral, they can't have it at the virtual.
No.
Listen, he flies these men around for these trips to Ghana and Dubai. And notice it's always a bunch of men. He flies these men around and he has to pay. He is the one that's gonna have to pay. And didn't Larry tell y'all years ago you have to keep your hoes happy? Isn't that what he used to tell everybody?
Every day.
I'm just saying. You don't even have to make this stuff up. That's what the man said.
So Ray says he can write off reformation since he doesn't charge for it. He can't place value on the attendance cost and wrote that off too. How is reformation coming? Have we heard anything about reformation? I haven't got any more emails.
It's dirt and grass.
St. James, they done took you off the mailing list. You know that, right?
You think they did? You think they did?
Yes, they did. They said, "Ooh, find them, Kendall. Take him off of there."
Because I'm still getting them. And when I don't get them, somebody send them to me. Thank you. I'm like, y'all don't need to see that stuff, y'all. I ain't going.
Katrina says the Ambient network.
That's what you said.
No, the Ambient network. Yes, that's what it's called. The Ambient network. But Hero Perry said the Ambient network is a Ponzi scheme. Because we also trying to figure out what's all the money going from here to there to everywhere. You taking out, stuff out your bra and putting it over there in that account. We really, if it's any federal investigators on this AI.
Listen, I ain't sending nobody to nobody's place from over here. I don't want nobody.
Yours truly, I am awake. I'm awake. I'm just quiet.
Yes. Listen, people, like I said, people give who they want to give to. But all I got to say is, I think there's something going on. And I guess
St. James, this is good ground to sow in. I'm gonna be honest. Larry has never gotten $1 from me. Let me tell y'all something. All the rest of y'all that got sucked in, giving your 888s and your 599s and all that. Let me tell you something. The only two people on the internet that can say that they have ever gotten a dime from me is St. James and Vincent. Listen to me very carefully. I choose who I give my money to very, very carefully. And the reason why is, even if St. James didn't agree with me, by the way, St. James wasn't agreeing with me when I first met him. He was throwing shade like a mug. Let me tell you, he came straight up with an umbrella.
Jesse, some of these people are just so sensitive.
But listen, yes, they is. Yes, they is. Yeah.
But listen here. I told St. James, I said, St. James, even though you didn't agree with me and you said what you said, I respect for your opinion and I respect you having your opinion. I don't mind. You don't have to agree with me. And I will still support you. But it's just how you do what you do. You understand what I'm saying? These people are something else. And I'm sorry, you all can tell people that they can keep sending their money in that way. But you listen to me very carefully.
Ray said he shaded you too.
Well, you know what, Ray? I know a lot of people did, Ray. It is what it is. And I'm easily to shade because I'm a church guy. Sometimes that stuff goes well over my head.
Right.
What in the world?
You done heard so much over the pulpit. Let me tell you, I turn it off. I really can.
Right. I'd be like,
I laugh at some of these preachers around here when they go around, think they doing something like, boy, I done came out of the rough side of the mountain. What y'all talking about ain't nothing. Get out of here.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, but that shows, people like how you can take a piece of shade, says a lot about your character, because, I said something about, a certain content creator on somebody's Facebook page. If Kevin's watching the replay, Kevin Moore.
He's on vacation and he won't.
Okay, he's on vacation. Yeah, I had said something about somebody's suit. on Facebook. You know, y'all get up here, y'all call everybody bastards and homosexuals and all of this and that. You know, but when I roasted and gagged you about that suit, and I thought it was, he wasn't gonna see it. You know, he got sensitive. You know.
That girl wasn't sensitive when you roasted her. I mean, you said have to be sensitive. Yeah.
You had her picture all on there, but when I said, we the people, it has been reported to me that we the people already saw this suit already.
But Marcellus,
you want to repeat?
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
There was a time though when a lot of us really believed in Larry.
Yeah.
And that's why we gave. We felt like
absolutely. And I agree.
From his fatherlessness series that he used to do, from him at the time. I don't know why we were like really gung-ho about him exposing pastors, but we were, right?
We all had
behind him.
fallen into that, and we were entertained by it.
Yeah, Courtney, let's go back because you were there during the fatherlessness series. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm so tired. And I done took a pill and because my back was hurting. So y'all forget, hey, I done took a whole pill and I ain't even lying about it. I'm so tired. My back.
All them pills they said Diddy had. Oh my God. But anyway, go ahead.
But Courtney, you remember when I called into that show the night that they did that fatherless stuff when he was talking about William Murphy and did this fake apology and all that crap. And I told y'all way back then, I said, you all are too susceptible to foolishness because y'all the man never even apologized. And y'all was like, oh, do we accept his apology? I'm like, why don't the saints ever listen? The man never apologized. And I had to call into the program to go, what are y'all talking about? He forgave and did it. No, Courtney. Yes, we supported Larry. That is very true. But we supported Larry because he told us one thing and did a whole 180 against the very thing that he told all of us in the beginning. What did he tell us that God told him to do way back then? Did y'all forget? Y'all forgot already?
What was it?
Okay, let me remind
what he told us.
Y'all don't remember? He told us that God had told him never to go back into the institutional church, that God had called him out and that he was supposed to be out in the marketplace and he was supposed to be calling this stuff out as far as it relates to the institution. When he hooked up with Jordan, you didn't hear no more of that. You didn't hear no more of that. He wanted to go back into that institution. As a matter of fact, he started trying to found another church when he said God told him never to do that in the whole
actually, doesn't he have one in Georgia and another one in Carolinas or somewhere?
Come on now. See, this is why I be saying that's that double-mindedness. James says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. These people are unstable, and I'm sorry to go there, but it really is true. And Larry has always been unstable, and it's made Lisa unstable. It's made Kendall unstable. It made Vincent unstable. Everybody over there that was in the stable is unstable.
Well, there has been a lot of double talk. We've seen this even all the way into TD Jakes of then loving him.
Courtney, where's my 888? You ain't gave me a dime.
Look, it's coming right now. Let me get that to you. Let me get that Taruma to you.
And listen, everybody, as you're listening, you can always donate to anybody on the platform. The deals are there. I appreciate those who've already donated to the platform.
Y'all know I'm just joking.
And also through CashApp. I appreciate you tonight. So
I felt my spirit of that cigar preacher, St. James.
What's his name? Scott? Or what's his name?
Gene Scott. I felt my Gene Scott spirit. I'm like, send the money.
Give me my money right now.
But I think he started Reformation because of the pull of the people. Because he was when he was talking about the Taruma and all these things,
they wanted him to be their pastor,
right? Because they did not have a local church, and a lot of what he was teaching was very comfortable to suit their lifestyle, and I don't mean sexuality, I mean in general.
But I mean that was a portion
sexuality.
It was a portion of it. Yeah, it was a portion of it.
Well, no, okay, but
sexuality.
That's not what I was talking about. But nonetheless,
but and it's understandable because he's very opening to the LGBTQ, and he says he has the couples in his church that like that and all that, so that's fine.
And he is.
Well, I mean, well, no,
Righteous.
he's not gay, y'all. He just likes little
He's
cute.
not gay no more. Andrew
I don't know. I
Caldwell.
don't know. First he said he
I'm
was, and then Vincent
delivered.
comes out and says for 13 years, oil moisturizer. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. But yeah, so but my thing is we did have to go through that. Marcellus is right. He said that. But then now I guess now he can just say, well, the people wanted it, which they have now. So go with it. Listen, again, I'm not a part of it. So
He's like Trump, like I said before. You know, he doesn't know what he's going to do from day to day. He has no game plan.
But as you said, like Courtney said, people were starting, they wanted to align with that thought process and that teaching. But I think it's my opinion, when things start looking at all of a sudden new thoughts start coming. You know, you start talking to the descendants and you start putting in the numbers and you start talking about the astrological signs and what they mean. And it just starts getting really deep, because the deeper you've seen, the more people think they're getting deeper.
But you're not deep.
I know it's not, but they think it is. They think it is. So they'll dig deep, Marcel. They gonna dig deep.
But Dr. Wanda Davis Turner told us years ago. She said the problem with deep folks is they always drown. And if you look at the stuff that goes on with them people over there, they always drowning in some mess, some foolishness, some betrayal. These people they can't even stay faithful to one another. You know, they can't even stay faithful to one another and true to one another.
That's what I'm saying. We're sitting back watching all these relationships flip-flop and go back and forth. People were so gun-ho for these folks. Now they're writing biographies about them and things, and they're flipping to this person and flipping to that person. And we're still supposed to say, you are the closest thing we know to God, and to listen to your every word as the prophet.
The devil is a show enough lie.
Gone. Yeah.
Marcellus, can we get a little sneak peek into the Friday meeting?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, do not bring your happy self over to the Mad Church Disease channel on Friday night if you don't want to hear me dog walk this ninja.
And Courtney, we don't need a sneak peek over here. He will keep it all, and he will stay
I'm gonna dog walk him, and I'm gonna connect all the dots. Cause see, some of y'all play too much, and see, this is how I know some of y'all really don't. Let me say that out loud. Some of y'all really don't like the truth. And
I think it's not that they don't like it. I think when we hear truth, we have to deal with the truth. And some of us don't want to deal with the truth. We want to just operate in a lie because it's more comfortable.
Yeah. But you can't conquer what you don't confront. And let me tell you something. If you don't learn how to be confrontational in some areas of your life, you will always find other people taking advantage of you. And the reason why Larry has been able to use people and get away with this for so many years is no one confronts him. He's so used to people acquiescing to him and doing whatever he asks. Think about it. That other content creator who Larry checked him on his own platform and refused to let that content creator ask him legitimate questions that any other adult would ask him. Larry checked him on his own program, and he has been sent to the shadows of his YouTube post page to make subliminal messages towards Larry because he is still in a situation where he is afraid to address Larry as a grown individual. And you think for 1 minute that I'm going to let someone come up here and tell me that I'm angry or I'm mad? No. If I'm mad at anything, it's that you won't use the skills and the intellect that God has given you to make better choices and decisions about the people that you're going to surround yourself with and your life with. That's all I'm saying. Call a spade a spade.
I don't personally think he's scared. I don't think he just wants to bring any light to him. That's my opinion.
Well, on some level, you might be right, St. James, but here's what I think. As a grown man, and he is a man, I want to tell you this. It is important for people to understand that it is necessary for you to confront situations in order for you to conquer them, and you can get and divest yourself of the vestiges of the foolishness that has been thrown up on your life. You may have to come out and eat some crow. You might have to admit the fact that you were wrong for 4 years, windmilling for someone who did not give a rat's ass about you. And now you have to come to grips with that. Just like Pearl over there eventually is going to have to come to grips with the fact that they're being used. And it's unfortunate. And I'm not trying to save a hoe, because that ain't my job. I'm not Captain Save a Hoe.
You ain't
No, but I'm just trying to let you know. I'm just trying to let you know. I'm just trying to let you know. I'm out here waving the flag saying, hey, God loves you. You, your own person. You got your own relationship with God. Jesus plus nothing equals everything.
My.
Larry
Amen,
said,
We are at 3 hours. I can't go on any longer, y'all. I got things to do. I was supposed to be, and y'all done let the sun go down on my head. And I can't get on the bike and ride, so I have to do something. I'll go to the gym. But I appreciate
Jesse. If you don't know who Pearl is, go look at the video. It's on my channel.
Go over there to the Bad Church. You'll figure out what Pearl is. Bad Church, thank you so much, Marcellus. You'll be on Friday.
I will, and I really do appreciate.
Are you going to be on tomorrow or no?
Huh?
Tomorrow too, or just Friday?
I hope so. You guys, I'm having a very bad back day today.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully I will be able to go live, because I have an awesome show. We got a lot of preachers that's been arrested and a whole bunch of stuff going on that y'all don't even know nothing about. And so I need to get the stuff out, but I really am. And St. James, and to all of you that are in the chat, I love and appreciate you guys. I respect you greatly. I appreciate the opportunity to come up here. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing and what I say, because I've been helping victims for over 14 years in the church sector, as we are being called. Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing until I got back on YouTube. I swear I didn't even know that. This is a 14-year-long job that I have had. I have helped more preachers and pastors and more victims of preachers and pastors than most people have. You don't even know. So when I speak about these issues, I might seem a little emphatic sometimes about it. It is based upon my experiences, not that I'm just hurling things at Larry just to be mean at Larry. Because to be honest with you, honestly, I don't hate Larry. I just hate some of the things that he says about the God that I serve. If there's any hatred that comes from me, it comes from me because I don't like how he puts this stuff off on God. That is what bothers me, and it pisses me off. It really makes me angry, because the God that he's talking about, I don't know him. I really don't know that God. Just like I don't know this white evangelical God that these white
right. I don't know that one.
I don't know
really
that
don't
God.
know that one. Yeah.
So I appreciate y'all. I love every single one of you. Courtney, love your ruby red lipstick, and I'm out.
Oh, he's so thirsty. Oh, he's just thirsty.
Just
all right, y'all. Courtney,
Good
thank you so
night.
much. They are so Marcellus. I appreciate y'all for coming through tonight. Listen, if you would be so kind, would you support the program tonight? Will you consider doing that? All 400 of you, over 400 of you on here, would you $ the St. James Show, $ St. James Show? We also have Venmo, the St. James Show. We have Zelle, the St. James Show at att.net. And you can also use that for PayPal. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us for these 3 hours, allowing us to, clarify some things, maybe encourage you in some ways, and make you not change your thought, but just make you think, make you critically think. So I appreciate you. It's always scrolling at the bottom there. Let's do some thank yous really quick. Appreciate you, Mari, for helping us reach our goal tonight. Uncle Paul, you as well. TJ, really appreciate you going over and above. Marcellus, thank you, sir. Erica, you went over and above, and you helped us reach and finalize our goal on tonight. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. All right, y'all. Thank you again, St. James. Let's see what the poll is. What is the poll? What's the poll? Where is it at? Where is my poll? Oh, I didn't say that right, huh? Did not say that right. All right, only 71 of you. Okay, 70. Okay, it's updating now. Okay, so Oh, it's still updating. Hold on. Okay. Let me just refresh it because it's taking too slow. Let me refresh that and see what the poll was. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Don't you move a step. Don't you leave that sanctuary yet. So only 124 of you voted, but 125 of you. Do you believe Larry told the truth regarding the breakup? 126 of you said no. Well, 126 of you voted. 11% said yes. 89% of you said absolutely, positively no. What a shame.
Somebody told me when you get in trouble. Somebody told me when you get in trouble, he'll bring you out. He'll bring, yeah. Somebody told you believe it this morning? Woo! Everybody clap. I need us to sing it one more time. Please sing it one more time. He will bring you out through every valley. He will bring you out. If you ever been sick, I'll bring you out. Is there anybody here that can lift your